You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Yes, sir.
The champ is here!
Hey.
The champ is here!
Caleb playing Oscar De La Hoya, Naya, anyway, Jamal, Charlo, Will Haney,
The champ
Samuel,
is here!
the Nigerian Nightmare, Peter, Big Turkey Al-Sheikh, and George Jakovic. I didn't get everybody, but I got everybody at the end. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it, man. Y'all know what time it is. Good, great, grand night to y'all, man. Beautiful people. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir, ski. Bang, bang, we here. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Let's hit this roll call like we always do, man. You got my boy Oscar Perez El Jefe in the building. Yes, sir, ski. We got my boy Ty Morissette Bodega Boys in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, man, bro. We got some things to talk about. We got Lee Jackson about that action in the building. Salutations, my brother. Yes, sir, man. You know, about to get it popping, but before we do, you know how we initiate the stream now, so please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this blessing, Lord. Thank you for bringing us together on this wonderful Wednesday night. We thank you for leading us in a safe fashion, Lord, no matter what we're going through. If we're in happy times, let us enjoy that. If we are in tough times, let us also find a way to find strength and perseverance in those times as well, and find a lesson in those times as well, Lord, because you don't put us in any situation that we can't overcome with a little bit of faith, with a little bit of work and a lot of bit of faith, Lord. So you put us through any trial and tribulation that we are in for us to learn something, whether it's a happy time or a sad time, a up time or a down time, short time or a long time, Lord. So we ask you that we could recognize, give us wisdom and bless us with patience and understanding to recognize the necessity of the situation that we're going through, and utilize it to grow and build strength and build character and build perseverance and resilience, and most importantly, build dependence on you, Father, because in our weakness, we are strong because of our dependence on you. Also, too, Lord, we want to send some prayers for those going through that vicious wildfire in California, and anybody else in any other country or any other place, foreign or domestic, that are going through any type of tough times due to anything from natural disasters to violence to hunger to poverty, anything. Lord, just bless them and give them strength. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's get right to it, man. So, so man, I was just reflecting, man. Of course, I dropped that video on Teofimo and his shenanigans. You know, go check that out if you haven't done so already. With him apparently, you know, ducking, dodging, dipping, and sliding. Zurdo Ramirez, you know, which we called, you know. We said that was gonna happen, and it seems he didn't let us down, you know. So in a weird sort of way, in a roundabout way, you know, I kind of appreciate Teofimo for being dependable. You know what I'm saying? For being a dependable, you know, duck. Yeah, so I just think it's very, you know, you got to appreciate things. You can't be disappointed in something that you expected. We called that, right? Especially when I heard rumors about Zurdo Ramirez apparently going back to the IBF route and trying to fight Elvis Rodriguez. Now, there's another hindrance if you're Zurdo Ramirez and his team or a fan of Zurdo Ramirez. Well, it seems like the Dominican kid, Elvis Rodriguez, has turned down that fight, him and his team claiming that Zurdo Ramirez doesn't deserve him. And I think that's kind of weird that somebody doesn't deserve a fight with you and you're not a champion. So I don't really understand that. However, you can't say that, hey, I don't want to fight Zurdo Ramirez because then you'll look like Teofimo. So I understand in order for PR purposes, you have to come up with an excuse and say that he doesn't deserve it. And you could kind of, you can't understand it. You shouldn't understand it. But you could kind of justify it if you are them, because as in Elvis Rodriguez and his team, because Elvis Rodriguez has one loss, and that was to Kenneth Sims Jr., and it was by decision, if I'm not mistaken. I think majority decision, right? So it was a close fight. But since then, he's been on a 6-fight win streak. So when you say he doesn't deserve it, it's not really that Zurdo Ramirez doesn't deserve it, because it's not a title shot to fight you. You're not a champion, so anybody fighting you right now, they deserve it, especially if they're ranked. But he doesn't deserve it as far as he's not worth the risk for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to fight a Zurdo Ramirez caliber fighter, it better damn sure be for a title. You know what I'm saying? So I get what they're saying, but it just doesn't look good, you know. So anyway, Elvis Rodriguez is seemingly going to fight Alamo, Johan Alamo, I believe is his full name. That should be a decent fight, but it's no Zurdo Ramirez, and Zurdo Ramirez obviously he's not getting the Teofimo fight or the Elvis Rodriguez, but there's a lot of time to identify an opponent. You know what I'm saying? So although they haven't ascertained an opponent for him yet, he still has some time, you know, and I'm looking forward to Matias bounce back, because I always said that I believe he could bounce back, and, you know, but he has to be careful because now he has 2 losses, right? He lost to Petros Ananyan, he avenged that loss, and then he also lost to Liam Paul most recently, and but I think he can bounce back, but he just has to make sure he's fully focused, and I don't think it's going to be easy because somebody's going to fight him, and once he does get a title opportunity, he has to take full advantage of that, and 140, you know, that thing's been moving like hotcakes. You know, the only one that's been keeping his belt is Teofimo Lopez, right? Yeah, Zurdo Ramirez, he did bounce back from his loss to Liam Paul when he fought and beat Roberto Ramirez. I believe he beat him in 4 rounds, 2 rounds or 4 rounds. I believe 4 rounds. Don't quote me, but so yeah, he's on the up and up, man. And speaking of other fighters on the up and up, Jaime Munguia was on the down and down after he got knocked down and knocked out by Bruno Soros, right? A guy who had 4 KOs coming in, relatively unknown Frenchman. Yeah, so he surprised a lot of people by beating Jaime Munguia. Just look at their faces in the building, you know, in Tijuana, right, in his hometown. But shout out to Jaime Munguia, who's taking the opportunity to get it back. He had a rematch clause, which I don't think is a bad thing, you know, and especially coming off of his loss to Cinnamon, who's arguably, I don't think it's arguable. I think he's clearly the best 168-pound fighter. You know, he lost to him, and there's no shame in that. And then he fought Eric Bazinian, who was a relatively unknown fighter, but he was undefeated, you know. Just being undefeated doesn't make you good, but it at least means that you're coming to fight, you know, and that's what Bruno Soros did. So that was the second undefeated fighter that he fought in a row. So, of course, it's going to look bad because Jaime Munguia has no business losing to a guy like Bruno Soros, especially by knockout. But, you know, I appreciate Jaime Munguia for still challenging himself. I know people will look at it, it'll be dismissive because they don't know him, but look at Trevor McCumbee. I think that Caleb Plant and Trevor McCumbee is one of the best performances this year, or last year, actually. I was going to say this year, but last year. And no one knew Trevor McCumbee. Like, boxing is a tough sport, but he was another undefeated fighter. Once you have that aura of invincibility, you know they're not coming to mail it in because nobody wants to lose, right? Nobody doesn't want their O to go, even though somebody usually has to. So, I do think that because he is unknown, Bruno Soros, that loss is bad. But I don't think people saying, oh, he lost to nobody and all, oh, they lost to nobody and all this stuff. It's like, we got to chill with that, with that rhetoric, because Bruno Saras had 20 something wins. That means 20 something people tried and 20 something people failed. So shout out to Jaime Munguia. I think he's going to bounce back. I think this is a very dangerous fight because, you know, my mantra is that in boxing, whenever you have a rematch, the rematch usually benefits the better boxer. We know Bruno Saras is a superior boxer as far as skills goes, but Jaime Munguia, I think he has the intangibles that you can't really be measured, like heart and just know how to win. You know, like when he fought Sergey Derevyanchenko, even though a lot of people thought he lost, but he just got that clutch knockdown at the end that pushed him over the top. So I think he can win. And I think it's kind of imperative that he does, because this is a bad blemish. But like I said, from where I'm sitting, I understand it. And speaking of understanding the loss, man, shout out to David Nyika, man. We gonna go with Nyika. I called it. I heard it. Even in the I went back and rewatched the fight. Even in the broadcast, some people were calling David Nyika. Someone called him David Nyika. So I think it's Nyika. It looks like Nyika to me. Like, but anyway, I don't know. So we gonna call him Nyika, like I was calling him before. Shout out to Karma. We're gonna go back to call him David Nyika. But shout out to David Nyika, man. I think that his loss to Opetaia, man, even though he got smacked and he lost in devastating fashion, man, I was impressed, man. I can't even front to you. I was still impressed. I liked the way that he approached the game, the fight. I liked his interviews. He demonstrated confidence, but also humility as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he reminds me, from a demeanor standpoint, he reminds me of a Sean Porter, man. Very intelligent dude, articulate dude, and humble, and just willing to fight anybody. You know, David Nyika took the fight in short notice, you know, after Hussein Sankara got hurt. And he brought the fight to Jai Opetaia. He didn't back out. He didn't back down from Jai either. So I was impressed. He made a fan out of me. And you know how we do over here, man. We don't just abandon a fighter because they lose. So I'm looking forward to his bounce back, and I think he can bounce back. And he lost to arguably the best fighter in the division, or what we think is the best fighter, either Jai Opetaia or Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, right? Who's right here, who Jai Opetaia, you know, called out. I do think that there are some good spots for Jai. To even though the guy's only 10 wins, he was undefeated again, and he's a guy that was determined. He was so determined that he put his Jai Opetaia as one of his goals on his wall. Like, hey, I want to beat Jai Opetaia one day. You know what I'm saying? He's a very goal-driven, milestone-setting person, right? So he has stepping stones, and he put that on his wall, and I think that's admirable, right? Because maybe because I write the same goals down. Like, I have stuff on my wall about goals I want to achieve and stuff like that. So I thought that was dope. But Jai Opetaia ended those dreams, at least for now. For sure. He put an end to all those dreams. You know what I'm saying? He said, Turkey, make it happen. Jai versus Ramirez. Yeah, that'd be good. Esau's was good. My boy Irony in the building, my brother. Define Irony, El Boricua in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you as well, brother. God bless you too, man. Big salute. 140, 154 like California. That's crazy. Nah. He said it's like California. Super hot. Nah, you wrong, bruh.
What?
Nah, you wrong, bruh. But poor Tio, the racist, got a slave contract. Talk to him, Oscar. You know what's going on. And I don't feel bad for him at all. You know, it's crazy. It's just funny how the universe works, man. I know I'm going to go back to David Nyika, but it's so funny how he was talking about a certain demographic and being very flat out racist, you know, spewing all this racist epithets and rhetoric, and he's the one that looks like he's in a bad deal. He can't get out of it. You know, some people are calling it a slave contract. You know, I don't even like to talk in those terms, but that's what a bad deal is considered, that, you know, and that's what it looks like. But he's talking about all these people and all these wrong things, and now he's looking like, you know, in a roundabout way, you know, historically speaking, which is not accurate right now to present times, but historically speaking, he's in a situation that some of those people were in that he was talking about, you know. So you just gotta, you know, that's why you just sit back and quiet. Hey, man, the world works itself, man. The universe works itself out, man, usually. So, but yeah, fuck Teofimo. But anyway, yeah, so Teofimo is making a lot of headlines for all the wrong reasons, you know. And who he's not fighting, more so than who he's fighting, how he's performing. But David Nyika, though, like I said, I'm looking forward to him bouncing back. I think he can bounce back. But I do commend him for not shying away from the fight in or outside of the ring, you know. And I thought he demonstrated some good things, man, some good attributes. So shout out to David Nyika, but also too shout out to Jai Opetaia. I know Jai Opetaia is not going to get too much credit for it because David Nyika is relatively unknown. He does have an extensive and impressive amateur background, winning bronze medal, being a bronze medalist in the Olympics. I believe it was the Tokyo Olympics. and then being a gold medalist in Commonwealth games. I think 2 Commonwealth games. So he's impressive. That doesn't always translate to the professional ranks. But he was on a 10-fight win streak. Now he's 10-1, obviously, with his 4th round stoppage of Jai. But he was coming to fight. Like I said, he was dedicated. He was so dedicated that he had, Jai Opetaia on his wall, saying that he wants to beat him, So I think Jai Opetaia, for me, he looked impressive. I know some people won't be too impressed because, like I said, he's relatively unknown, David Nyika. But I think that, I give people credit for coming to fight. And David definitely came to fight. And he stunned Jai Opetaia. And that's the part where I think there's a little opening if you Zurdo. I know you smiled a little bit. If you Zurdo or part of Gilberto Ramirez's team, I know you smiled a little bit. Hell, if you're Oscar, you smiled a little bit. Maybe not a lot of it, but you smiled a little bit because you can see that, like I said, David Nyika stunned him like twice. And really won big time, but I think he got him again with a nice little stiff shot. And while I think I don't know for sure, but I would jump out on a limb and think that David, out of the 3, out of Jai Opetaia and Gilberto Ramirez, I would say David Nyika seems like he has more one-shot power. Jai Opetaia is more of an accumulation puncher, even though he has some power shots too, obviously, is what he did to him. But he's not really known as a one-punch knockout artist. Gilberto Ramirez is kind of the same way. He's not known as a one-punch knockout artist, but he does have power, and he definitely is stronger than he looks. Like, look what he did to Chris Billion-Smith. He had Chris Billion-Smith hesitant to even throw because he was so worried about covering up. But what I think you could take out of that is that there was some room to work with and take advantage of on the inside, because that's where David Nyika had some success, right? Mixing it up. And I think one thing that Gilberto Ramirez has in his favor, he has a couple things in his favor, so does Jai Opetaia, but one of the things is hand speed and the ability to throw combinations, and the willingness to throw combinations on the inside, outside, wherever. So I think that's a little chink in the armor if you're Zurdo that you're pretty excited about in the potential fight with with Jai Opetaia. But I think that, man, this is a good fight. It's something that I look forward to. I will say this though. I know there's a lot of talk about that fight potentially happening next, potentially in May as well. But me selfishly, I would prefer, it doesn't matter. I want the fight to happen regardless. But I would prefer if it was a utopian world, right? Ideally, that Jai could have another fight against Badou Jack. And then they both bring 2 belts apiece to the undisputed fight. Of course, Jai would have 3 if you count the Ring Magazine, but that's really a belt that you get from beating the lineal champ primarily. So it's not one of the 4 sanctioned bodies belts. You know what I'm saying? So, but however, if it happened now, I'm not going to complain. I want that fight too. So I think that fight is great, and it just got some momentum. Gilberto Ramirez has been on wax on record saying that he's willing to fight anybody, and he wants Jai Opetaia. And Opetaia, obviously, he called out Zurdo. But we're forgetting, we got to remember that those 2 aren't the only champions. They're the most talked about. But when Zurdo beat Chris Billion-Smith, he unified 2 belts. He has a WBA and the WBO right now. Jai Opetaia has the IBF in the ring, but the ring is not one of the 4. That means there's another one, the WBC, and Badou Jack has that belt. And speaking of Badou Jack, my bad, I hit the mic. Badou Jack has recently come out today and said, hey, man, I want all the smoke. So Badou Jack, he's an older statesman. He's a little older. Let me see how old he is. I think he's 42. He's 41. And but he's a very good fighter, man. He's been there with a lot of them. Do I think he beats Jai Opetaia? Nah. Do I think he beats Zurdo? No. But I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out for win, because he's no slouch. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to show y'all this. This is what he said right here. Hey, shout out to my boy Fugazi in the building. Fugazi Gaming TV in the building, bro. What's good with you, bro? I didn't even see you in here, brother. What's up with it, man? What's up with it, bro? He said, I got Zurdo Ramirez beating Opetaia. I'm telling you. I think we're one of the few, me, you, and Oscar, and maybe a select few. Dude fights aggressively just like CBS, who was a brawler. He took him out to the deep waters and drowned him. Yeah. I think it's a good fight. I can't say definitively either way, but I'm leaning towards Zurdo as well. But shout out to, this is Jai's moment. You know what I'm saying? Jai did his thing today. So, but yeah, Badou Jack said he's coming for all the smoke and all the belts. WBC boxing, man, because those of you that have been keeping up with the cruiserweight division, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, those of you that have been keeping up with the cruiserweight division, Badou Jack has been recently reinstated as a champion, because before it was Noel McCallan, and Badou Jack was a champion in recess. Now they switched because Noel McCallan is going through some litigation with Don King, and he's been going. He has some injury ridden past so far, so he's been kept out of the ring. So they reinstated Badu Jack since he was eligible to come back, and now he's a full WBC champion. He said, "Hey man, I want all the smoke and all the belts, man." This is great to hear because the cruiserweight division is no disrespect to him, but it's kind of boring, man. And Zurdo Ramirez, I'd even say shout out to Opetaia, but for me personally, Zurdo's the one that's made it interesting for me because especially not just when he beat Gulamarian, but he's the first to unify when he beat Chris Billiam Smith. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really too interested in Chris Billiam Smith. Shout out to him, aka the gentleman, right? We had the nice guy, David, the nice guy, Nyika, and Chris Billiam, the gentleman Smith, right? So to me, that's reflective of the cruiserweight division. It's a bunch of nice guys, nice boring guys. As I say about nice guys are boring, right? You know, I'm not saying that's literally true, but you know, it's a boring division. You know what I'm saying? It has a bunch of nice guys and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to see that. But with Zurdo fighting Chris Billiam Smith, that made it exciting for me because I like Zurdo, you know, back when he was light heavyweight and stuff like that. But him being able to unify, that was dope. And no disrespect to Opetaia, but him fighting Maris Bradis twice and Jordan Thompson and all the guys that he fought before, and Jack Massey was a good. I like that fight. I was excited for that fight, but he didn't really do enough to. It's not his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault or not. I'm just saying that didn't make it intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's getting intriguing, especially if Badu Jack comes back and now he's in the mix and he wants all the smoke. So I'm hoping that, you know, of course he'll probably get a tune-up or maybe have to fight a mandatory for the WBC or something like that. Hopefully he gets through that and we get these unifications popping, man, because I think that'll very much bring some well-deserved attention to the cruiserweight division because Opetaia has been doing this thing for a while. Zurdo Ramirez only has one loss, and that's to Dimitri Bivol, not even in this division, right? So they're all doing their thing, and I would like to see this division turn up, man. And I think that I'm with Fugazi, man. I think Gilberto could come out on top, but I love to see that fight, man, between Gilberto and Jai. That's a great fight. To consider good old Jack, he's got to beat other single belt holder, meaning Opetaia. Yeah, that's why I think so too. I think that's a perfect fight. Oh, that club bell is killing me. Hey, Doc, I just heard the Lopez and Matias fight is off. Yes, Johnny. Yes, Johnny. What do you know? I just dropped a video on it, Johnny. Go check it out. But yeah, it's definitely off. There's nothing to. I think it's definitive. You know, well, if it does change, it's because somebody's being very. Somebody was mistaken, but it's coming from the team. You know, it's coming from Teofimo himself. So unless him being the fact that he's disgruntled and emotional, right? Because we seen him retire before throwing a temper tantrum and he came right back. So, but he said it's off. He said, you know, he didn't abide by the deadline and he didn't accept the offer. The final offer was made late last night, and you know, and it was well above his contract minimums. You know what I'm saying? So it was good money. According to reports, you know, particularly Ring Magazine and Keith Idek, who's a contributor to the Ring Magazine and some other reputable boxing media. So yeah, it's off, bro. And Subro Matias was, but I said this too. I speculated this when I read a couple reports that Subro Matias was looking at Elvis Rodriguez to fight for the IBF, and you know, Teofimo's a champion of the WBO. So once he went back to the IBF route, we knew that something wasn't going right. And yeah, so apparently it wasn't, and yeah, the fight is off, man. And Elvis Rodriguez apparently turned down the fight with Subro as well. So Subro's looking for an opponent, but things can change. You know, it's boxing, moves with fluidity. Eddie Hearn is one funny motherfucker saying that Jay Opetaia could beat Usyk if he goes to heavy. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what's up with Eddie Hearn. I mean, shout out to Eddie Hearn. You know, Usyk is a very sought after opponent, right? So I don't mind it, but to say that Opetaia beats Usyk because he beat a 10-win David Nyika, unproven David Nyika, as much as I like David Nyika, he's unproven, right, in the professional ranks. To say that brings you any closer to definitively saying that you beat Alexander Usyk, I think is insane. That doesn't mean that Opetaia couldn't do it. You know, maybe he could do it. I mean, I don't think so. I'd put my bottom dollar on Usyk beating Opetaia, but shout out Opetaia. I mean, that's no shame, right? Opetaia, I mean, Usyk is one of the top 3 in the pound for pound ranks, right? With either Usyk, Bud, or Inoue. So it's either those 3 or nobody else. So there's no shame in that, but I don't think he beats Usyk. But maybe he could. I don't know. And that's what Eddie Hearn's supposed to say, right? That's his fighter. So Opetaia should go to the WBC route. I agree. Yeah, I would like to see a 2-on-2 as far as 2 belts bringing. They both contributing 2 belts to the undisputed claim. But if it's a 3-to-1 belt, like who was that? Beterbiev and Bivol situation, right? Where Beterbiev had 3 belts and Bivol had 1 belt. if you want to count the IBO, but it's not one of the 4, right? So it doesn't have any influence or implication on obtaining undisputed because it's not a recognized belt like that for the big bodies. I mean, it's recognized, but it's not one of the big 4. So yeah. So if it's a situation like that, 3-1, I mean, I'm cool. I'm not gonna complain. You know, that's just me being nitpicky. Us being nitpicky. Of course, ideally, you want to see like a even stakes match. You know, 2-2. You know, it just makes it seem a little more even, but. Two belts and 1 belt, all 4 belts, 3 belts and 1 belt, it doesn't matter. You know, it's still the fight, so it doesn't mean that anybody's gonna win over the other one. But just aesthetically speaking, and how it, you know, the looks, you know, it just looks better if it's 2-2 in my opinion. I think that'd be dope, but nah, it doesn't matter. The Lopez Matias fight is off though. We got to see Matias versus Rodriguez. Well, Fugazi, yeah, I just yeah, Fugazi, exactly. The Dominican kid Elvis, the Dominican kid Rodriguez said they were trying to fight Alamo. You know, I just dropped a video on that. Go check it out if you have time. They're not pursuing Matias. Like I said, you never know. Things could change, right? Maybe the IBF could order that fight or whatever. You never know how it goes. But yeah, they want to fight Alamo. They claim that Matias does not deserve the fight. We got my boy Tay in the freaking building. What's good, bro? What's good with you, bro? You said Johnny says this was the hottest fight in boxing. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, me too, bro. Lots of cap. Yep, lots of capping going on. I agree, John. I was looking forward to it too. We got Mons in the building. Oh, we got big paper in the building, man. Shout out to my boy Ty Morissette dropping that graffiti on the chat wall, sliding in with that dub like a boss. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that dub, man. My boy Ty says, your challenge for the chat. Let's get tonight's super chat goal out the way, folks, and make sure you all have clicked the like button. I second that. And subscribe buttons, I second that as well. Band for band season, Bodega Boys, yes sir. Boxing Talk family, BTF gang, stand up, man. Shout out to my boy dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes sir, man. We got my boy Ty Morissette in the building. Yeah. AKA Band for Band King. Yeah. AKA Bodega Boys in the building. Yeah. AKA Big Jers. Yeah. You heard. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. BTF gang. Yeah. Let's go. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my boy Ty, man. Ty must have beat up somebody for the break. He checked them pockets. Dub. El Jefe in the building. Yes, sir. That's a boss. For those of you that are uncultured, you know, the boss in Spanish. Shout out to my boy Ty. We got Monts Truth in the building. What's good, Monts? I appreciate you coming through, brother. Hope everything's good on your side. You know what I'm saying? My boy Dub. Shout out to my boy Dub, man. Big Zona in the building, Arizona. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, I think that fight would be shout out to my boy Ty. Don't forget to smack that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? He put the challenge out there, band for band season. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the super chat goal out the way, man. I thank y'all so much for the love. Shout out to my boy Ty, man. Everything that you do for the stream and everybody. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. What I was saying. Oh yeah, so I think that this cruiserweight, man, if that's gonna happen this year, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I know that there's some speculation in regards to Big Turk's contribution and how nefarious it could be in intent, you know what I'm saying, or diabolical, like the diabolic plan he has to take over the world through boxing. A lot of people think he has some sinister plan, and or they're skeptical, and that's okay to be skeptical, but you should be realistic too. Don't lose your ways and he say, she say. Sometimes things are what they are, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, we are where we from, you know what I'm saying? If something smells a little funny, it usually is, you know what I'm saying? Too good to be true, it usually is. But at the same time, give people the benefit of the doubt and the opportunity to F up first. He hasn't F'd up, bro. For me, 2024 was one of the best years in boxing. Not saying it was the best, you know, I haven't been around boxing that much, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to live in the times that I lived in, and I did not see, you know what I'm saying, Muhammad Ali, rest in peace, the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? I did not see Rocky Marciano in person. I did not see Joe Louis, Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, and Sugar Ray Leonard, and Marvin Hagler, like, you know what I'm saying? I was too young for that. So I can't speak on those times and those fights. I'm sure those are great years of boxing too. But for me, in my memory, you know what I'm saying, of course I love the Super 6 tournament with Andre Ward, Mikhail Kessler, Carl Crotch. Yeah. Andre Durrell, Arthur Abram, Jermaine Taylor, all of them. Those are good years of boxing too. You know, the execution they're going on is great, 20-win streak at middleweight, but all that stuff is great, you know. And Floyd Mayweather doing his thing, Manny Pacquiao going on his sensational run. You know, there's so many great things and memories I have with boxing, but gosh dang it, bro, 2024 was crazy, bro. We see the first undisputed heavyweight division in a quarter century, 25 years, man, since Lennox Lewis and Alexander Usyk. We got that. We got another undisputed champion in light heavyweight. You know, a fight that to me was one of the biggest fights in boxing to be made, in Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. You know, that fight took forever to make. You know, but that happened when Big Turk was involved. You know, he facilitated that matchup. We had a 5v5. What the heck was that? That was setting precedent. You know, a trailblazing, pioneering event between two promotional companies with Queensberry and Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn. I mean, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, respectively. So that was great. Then we had that phenomenal card in L.A. headlined by the pound for pound king Terrence Bud Crawford against Israel Madrimov in his debut to a new division. And every single fight, there was like 5 or 6 fights, and each fight could have headlined their own card. I'm not even speaking facetiously or exaggerating at all. Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller could have been a headliner. Bud, obviously, versus Israel Madrimov was the headliner. That could have been a headliner. Pitbull and Rayo could have been a headliner. Who else was on that card? Somebody else was on that card, bro. Help me out, man. Was David Morrell and Hot Rod Kaladzik? That was on that card too, right? That could have been a headliner. And there was another one too I'm missing. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? You get the point. So we've been having some great cards, and yeah, man. And even not even the cards that Big Turk was directly involved in. Look what PBC was doing with their cards. They had to step their game up. Look at the Canelo card. That was arguably one of the best Canelo cards ever when Canelo fought Edgar Berlanga, right? Yeah, Caleb Plant on the card. A lot of star power. Yeah, Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumbee. Trevor McCumbie's not a big name, but Caleb Plant is. What's the other dude? I just said it. I'd be losing my train of thought that quickly, bro. Rolly Romero versus Manuel Jaimes. Manuel Jaimes was a big player, but Rolly Romero's entertaining. You had Stephen Fulton making his comeback against Castro. He's entertaining. You had there was somebody else. Danny Swift Garcia versus Erzlandi Lara. Are they both past their prime? Yeah, but those are still two big names on the same card. So you know what I'm saying. And then not to mention what Matchroom has been doing, obviously with Big Turk, and you know, even Latino nights. You know, with Golden Boy, that was dope. You know. For boxing purists, you know what I'm saying? So there's been a lot of great things in boxing, man. I think that 2025 is starting off great with Opetaia going against David Nyika, and then we have this weekend we have Caroline Dubois going against a Canadian fighter. I can't remember her name, God forgive me, but she's coming in the ring this weekend. I know a lot of people don't get too excited for the female fights, man, but one time for the ladies in boxing as well. You know what I'm saying? And then then we have February 22nd. That's a great card, but even before that, February 1st, we got David Benavidez and David Morrell, bro. Like, that fight, shout out to both of those gentlemen out there fighting, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, David Morrell's clean and all that stuff. We do it, you know, we don't want nobody out here cheating.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
You know, but that card is dope with Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton for their rematch this time at 126. On that card, we have Pitbull versus Angel Fierro. On that card, we have Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario, Banana Rosario on that card. So, you know, that's another great card. And then February 22nd is coming by with Daniel Dubois versus, who we fighting? Joseph Parker, headlined by Beterbiev and Bivol rematch for Undisputed again. Undisputed dominance at light heavyweight. We have Shakur versus Kid Austin. We got, who else is on that card, chat? Boatsy versus Callum Smith. That's not really a big fight that everybody wants to see from a popularity standpoint, but that fight is intriguing as well. And I know I'm missing some other folks too, you know, shame on me, but Hamza Shiraz, Carlos Adames, he's a champion, say his name first. Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz, and I know there's another one still, but that fight is Virgil Ortiz and Israel Madrimov. Like, come on, bro. So yeah, we got a lot of great fights, man. Let me catch up to some of the chats. Ty says, sounds like he not trying to gamble his position, so I say it's a duck. You know how it is when folks first thing is saying that or this guy or that guy doesn't deserve. Yeah, exactly, doesn't deserve this or that. I agree. I think definitely Rodriguez is ducking him. But like I said, I understand it. No, I'm not giving an excuse, but I do understand it because, you know, Elvis Rodriguez is on a 6-fight win streak, so suffering his only loss to Kenneth Sims by decision. So he's like, hey, if I fight a Subriel Matias caliber fighter, then, it got to be for a belt or something. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but you definitely ducking. How can you say a fighter doesn't deserve to fight you and you're not a champion and you're not the face of boxing? If you're not Canelo, if you're not a champion or you're not Canelo or Floyd or, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's the face of boxing, then how could a fighter not deserve to fight with you? That doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? Matias would be the A side. So if anything, Matias could say you don't deserve it, not the other way around. Doc got on a hoodie. You know what I'm talking about? Hoodied up. You feel me? You feel me, Smoochie? I got to stay warm because you ain't here to warm me up. You heard me? I'm just playing. Zhang versus... I forgot about Zhang versus Cabello. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? A jit is legit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I did say Boatsy and Smith. I said that one. I did not say... I forgot about Big Bang Zhang. You know what I'm saying? Zele, Big Bang Zhang. You know what I'm saying? Versus Cabello. Jit Cabello. Yep. I said Ortiz versus Madrigal. That's a bomb one, too. That's a fire one, too. That's fire. The Benavidez team are trying to play that dopey game when they know low-key he ain't a cheater, though. You think so, Fugazi? I hope you're right, bro. I will say this, though. I don't think David Morrell's cheating. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I gave Ryan Garcia the benefit of the doubt until that B sample came back. And even though it's a small chance that the B sample would be different than the A sample, I still give everybody the benefit of the doubt because that's what you do. That's why you be patient and you go through due process. Now that he was found out to be a cheater, I'm calling him a cheater because that's what he is. So with David Morrell, whether it's David Morrell, whether it's Artur Beterbiev, whether it's Sugar Shane Mosley, whether it's Alicia Bumgarner, I let due process play out. Whether it's Canelo, you know what I'm saying? I'm not quick to call somebody a cheater, especially with no evidence and there's no failed test with David Morrell. So I don't think he's a cheater. But I will say this, though. I support, respect, and appreciate David Benavidez for getting in the front of it because you don't want to, no disrespect, you know, I wish Devin Haney the best and I hope that he bounces back, you know what I'm saying, because I wish the best for the young man. He was a victim, but you don't want to be a victim in any situation, right? And you definitely don't want to get Devin Haney because there's a large portion of boxing fans, quote-unquote fans, that think that you can disregard the fact that Ryan Garcia cheated. Like, if I'm in baseball and I talk about Mark McGwire's home runs, no one ever says that he didn't have PEDs in the system, or Sammy Sosa, or Barry Bonds, or Jose Canseco. It goes with it because that's what you did and that helped you. It enhances your performance. It doesn't guarantee that you win. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to break the home run record, but it guarantees that when you have a PD in your system, you're going to be better than what you would have been without it. It doesn't say you're going to be this much better, this much better, this much better. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't quantify how much better you're going to be. It doesn't guarantee a win or success, but it guarantees that you will be better. So if PEDs matter in something like baseball, if PEDs matter when you're Justin Gatlin and you're running on the track, if PEDs matter and you're swimming in a swimming pool, then you gosh dang right PEDs matter if you're punching on somebody's head top. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Dave Benavidez, I salute him. And he's getting in front of it because at the end of the day, you don't want to have a closed mouth and then find out later that the guy that you fought cheated because people aren't going to care. They're still going to show you with your face down and your ass up like they did Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So no, I support anybody dotting their I's and crossing their T's. I think we should all support that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that I think David Morrell's hell. I didn't think Manny Pacquiao cheated, but I think that Floyd did the right thing by doing his due diligence and making sure that you take the test to ensure that nobody's cheating. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he said, now if David Benavidez was saying like, oh, David Morrell got to take the test and I'm not going to take the test, then I'd be like, hold on, bro, you wildin'. You know what I'm saying? But if you're both saying you're willing to take the test, what's the problem? You know, you want to ensure that everything's clean. But I agree with you. I don't think David Morrell cheated. I don't think Beterbiev, every time he has an injury, people say that he's trying to cycle off steroids. I don't believe that. But if I'm Bivol and I want to take the proper precautions, absolutely. I don't see what's the problem. You know what I'm saying? What fight do you think will be fight of the year? I know it's January. Nah, ain't nothing wrong with that, Apollo. Shout out to Apollo, man. Hey, man, it's January, but that's why we do predictions, right? I'm not mad at that for the fights that we know so far. What fight do I think will be fight of the year? Of course, like you said, it's only January, so we don't even know what fights are going to transpire or come to fruition later on. But right now, early on, for the fights that we know are going to happen, like the February 22nd card, and like the David Benavidez, Dave Morrell, and Tank versus Roach, I know I'm gonna go out on a limb, man. I think that Madrimov and Virgil Ortiz might be fight of the year, bro. I think that might be fight of the year, bro. And to be honest, I think Morrell and Benavidez, I think that could be too, but I think that might actually be closer in our minds than it actually will be when they're in the ring together. I could be wrong, but I think on paper that's a 50-50 fight. That's a very close fight. I'm leaning towards Benavidez, but I think when they're actually in the ring, I think it's gonna get ugly and one-sided fast. Maybe like similar how it was at David Nyika. Like by the 4th round, it was over. And it was competitive for while it lasted. I think that's gonna be similar with Benavidez. I anticipate it's gonna be competitive longer. I'd say like probably like through 7 or 8. But once that, you know what I'm saying, 9 round, 10 rounds, I think David Benavidez is gonna wear him down. But I could be wrong though, you know what I'm saying? Fight Lab Analytics in the building, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Shout out to you, Fight Lab. I appreciate you coming through, brethren. Appreciate you also dropping that graffiti on the chat walls, man. That means a lot, man. Shout out to you, bro. I thank you, bro. David Benavidez was trying to run a promo, but it comes off corny, like T.O. claiming guys ain't getting tested just a dude to pull out that paperwork. Yeah, you could be right too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at anybody who doesn't like it. You know, I don't have a problem with it because at the end of the day, I'd rather be safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Fight Lab, man. I appreciate that, man. My boy dropping the green on the Gosh Dang chat, man. The greenery and the scenery. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my boy Ty. Shout out to my boy Fight Lab, man. Thank you, bro. The one fight I want to see is Osha Kiefer. Ooh, that's a fire war right there. Shock versus Raymond. Hey, that's a good fight for Gaby. We got my boy Legacy in the building. Yes, sir. Them biscuits, you feel me? Yes, sir. Ajagba versus Bakoli is a sleeper on Fight of the Year. And shame on me, right? Because you know I'm Nigerian, and you know what I'm saying? Ajagba, my Nigerian brethren. Shame on me, but I'm not gonna say nobody has a chance, right? He definitely has a chance, and like you said, to outpoint him and stuff. But I see that ending in like 5. I ain't gonna lie, in favor of Bakoli, man. You know, shout out to the big Congo. You know what I'm saying? Democratic Republic of Congo. But I just think it's more dope that we have 2 heavyweights representing a nation on the continent of Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? With F.A. Jabba representing Nigeria and Bakoli representing the Democratic Republic of Congo, man, formerly known as Zaire. I think that's dope, man. I think that I would love to see more. You know, we just saw a South African, right? And the guy that fought Justice Huni, who got knocked out by Justice Huni, he's South African. Kevin Lorraine is South African too, but it's dope to see more participation from African nations, man. I think that's fire. So yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for that fight. You know, I'm very excited for Bakoli and Jabba, and I hope it goes through. You know, because you never know, man. Things can get canceled, but hopefully that fight happens, man. I got Raymond Ford. Ooh, who you got, Smoochie? Raymond Ford, Oshagu Foster, man, that's a tough fight. I don't know who I have right now. I have to think about it, but right now at this moment, maybe I'm just daring to be different, but I'm going with Shock. We got Karma Serene in the building. What's good, Karma? Salute to all my Nigerian family. Talk to them. Let's go. Big Nigerian in the building. Nigerian Badman in the building. Where's it at? Hold on, I can't find it. Where's it at? I need to get me a soundboard. There you go.
Me blood clot.
Nigerian Badman. Would you be shocked if Tank had a fight of the year or Canelo by picking the wrong cherry? Would I be shocked? I would be shocked unless Tank and Shakur fight. I can't see a fight involving Tank that would be a fight of the year caliber unless it's Shakur. And even then, I'm still hesitant because I feel like if Shakur wins, it's not going to be fight of the year. It'll be kind of, I'm not going to say a dud. It'll still be exciting. It just won't be as intriguing, I think, or, you know what I'm saying, as fun to watch as if it could be if Tank wins. And if Tank wins, the only way I can see it be a fight of the year candidate if it goes away that I don't think it'll go, like Shakur winning the whole time, like kind of like H2O Silva's doing against Body, and then Gervonta comes out with a knockout, you know what I'm saying, out of nowhere. I don't think it goes like that. I think Tank wins, but I don't think it goes like that. I think Tank wins kind of, I'm not going to say easily. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think it'll be easier than we anticipate. A lot of us anticipate. I don't think that fight's too close. But if anybody can beat Tank, I think it's Shakur. So to answer your question, nah, I would be surprised if Tank is involved in a fight of the year candidate. Canelo, fight of the year, just looking at the landscape at 168, the only way I could see him being in a fight of the year candidate would be against Benavidez, and I don't think he's fighting Benavidez, unfortunately for us. I think Canelo beats Benavidez. I would love to see that fight happen, but I don't think that fight's gonna happen. And anybody at 168, I don't see him having a fight of the year candidate. So yeah, I would be shocked if Tank or Canelo is involved in the fight of the year candidate. I don't see either one of them being involved in a fight of the year. Yo, King James in the building. What's good, brethren? That's just my opinion, though. You know, what about you? Do you think that they could be in the fight of the year candidate this year? I don't see who they would fight. I mean, maybe if Tank fights Loma or something like that, I think Loma still has a bit better chance than people expect. I don't think he beats Tank either, but I don't know. Who y'all think Devin Haney fighting on March 25th? Man, I'm thinking Adrian Broner. I have no reason to believe that. That's just what I think. I think it's going to be Broner, but it could be hey, it could be T.O. You never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it'll be T.O. I think it'll be Adrian Broner or somebody like what's that dude's name? Or like Liam Paro, or he already has. Devin Haney has quite a bit of experience fighting Australian fighters with George Kambosos in Australia too. So I think it'd be like a Liam Paro or Adrian Broner. But I don't know though. What fighter will have comeback of the year? Who y'all think? What you mean comeback of the year? Like comeback of the year from having a shitty year last year, or comeback of the year like in the fight comeback, like a Lucas Body comeback in the fight. Comeback of the year, I can't really think of anybody that's down right now last year that could have a resurgence. Cause I had Daniel Dubois as a comeback last year, but who was really like a big player that's like that? Oh, maybe like Charlo, maybe like one of the Charlos, right? I guess if he's active, but I don't have no reason to believe that either one of them will be too active. But I guess they could, a shifty year last year, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Subra Matias. Hell, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Subra Matias. Maybe Liam Paro. I mean, he didn't have a bad year last year. Liam Paro had a great year. He just didn't end it well, losing his belt. So I wouldn't even think that he'll be coming out. He doesn't qualify for comeback of the year because he didn't have a bad year last year. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I have to think about that. Haney, yeah, Haney, maybe, yeah, Haney, yep, Haney, yeah, Haney could have a comeback. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one, Haney, yeah, for sure. My boy Jai won and still bring on Zurdo. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Opetaia, man. He did his thing, man. Haney or Jamil, I like that, Ty. That's what I was thinking, the Charlos. I forgot about Haney. Shame on me. Yeah, Haney could have one, too. AB and Tio need to check. Yeah, that's like they need that Munions. I need the Munions, man. Boo Boo Andre. I don't know who's gonna get in the ring with him though. He doesn't really have it's easy to say somebody is excuse me. It's easy for us to say people are being avoided, but we have to acknowledge that boxing is a business too, and you're not just looking to have all the hardest fights all the time. That aren't justified, and unfortunately for Boo Boo, there's not really much justification to fight him, bro. And we know he's good, right? So. I mean, if you're Canelo, why are you fighting Andrade? If you're Pacheco, why are you fighting Andrade? If you're Christian and Billy, why are you fighting Andrade? Like, how does he incentivize you in ways that other fighters wouldn't be sufficient to do the same? And building your profile, looking at, what I'm saying? Why would you take on that difficult fight? Of course, ideally we would we want people to fight the toughest fights and embrace the toughest fights, but I think that's at this point in the game, man, especially when you're an adult and you come to a greater understanding of the sport and just life in general, you're not taking the hardest challenge for the least compensation. Like, the compensation should match the challenge, aka the risk should match the reward. So why would you fight Boo Boo? But yeah, but I just don't. I think that'd be dope if he had to come back, but who is gonna fight him? Like, maybe Caleb Plant, maybe Charlo. But even still, I mean, I think there'll be some hype from Charlo, for Jamal Charlo. I think the hype for Andrade and Caleb Plant could be there a little bit, but I think that's minimal. But I think maybe outside of the Charlos, I don't really know who is that intriguing. Outside of a hardcore standpoint. Outside of the hardcore is who's really looking for Andrade. Unfortunately, I want to see Andrade. I wish him the best, but that's just a harsh reality. From how I see it, my skin isn't built for the Chicago cold. Gotta get you a jacket, my brother. Get you that North Face. You'll feel me. Yeah, man. Hopefully you stay warm too. God bless, bro. I know it's cold. It's a little chilly out here. I'm in Florida. I don't even want to talk trash for Smoochie get on my head top. Because, you know, I can't be cold in Florida. It's illegal for me to feel cold because I'm in Florida. Do y'all think that Magsayo is a good backup opponent to take the fight if something happens to Roach? I think so. Even though nothing, I don't think nothing happened to him Fugazi, but I think anybody's a good backup. And I think sometimes people overreach. You know, what's wrong with having a backup? David Nyika was a backup. No one knew about David Nyika. He just happened to be undefeated and happened to be an Olympian. Nobody was asking for David Nyika versus Opetaia, but channels like us, we respect the fighter, so we got excited for it because it is a New Zealand versus Australia rivalry. There's other things that you get excited about. So Magsayo, he would be on a resurgence. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing the Philippines behind him, and it wouldn't be a plan. It would be a backup, like you said. So it's hard to really get mad at backups. It's like getting mad at what's my boy Jerron Boutsen is fighting David Avanesian. That was a backup. The plan was Cody Crowley. You know what I'm saying? It was a backup. It happens sometimes. So yeah, I don't see how you could really get mad at legitimate backups. It's even with Shakur Stevenson when he was about to fight Joe Cordina. He was originally supposed to fight William Zepeda. Zepeda didn't want that, so he had a backup. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that you should get good backups per se. You know, that's why they're a backup. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to plan to fight Ty, who's a champ. And then if the champ can't fight, I'm about to fight Smoochie, who's undisputed. Like what? That's not a backup. I need all my time to prepare myself to fight the champ and the undisputed champion. You know, I'm not gonna go and fight Lamont Roach and then have the backup be gosh dang Shakur Stevenson. That's crazy. Cool Breeze in the building. He said that's a lie. The Hawk is out there in Florida. Talk to him. They be hating on me, bro. You know what I'm talking about? They be hating on us, Cool Breeze. What's good with you, though, brother? Not gonna lie, that Ukraine fighter different breed. Yeah, the Ukraine doing their thing. Mark is a good alternative. He's gonna come up and scrap. Yeah, exactly. And put on a show and tank and be right there to be knocked out. Yeah, he's gonna be right there to be knocked out. That's a fact. He gonna drop a bomb on his forehead. That's tough. That's what she said. Relax. Plant versus Billy would be a good fight. Ooh, that'd be a firefight. That's a fact. Hey yo, I'm in Mass, and over here it's like 20 degrees. In Massachusetts, oh God bless you. 22 in Connecticut, oh God bless you. Y'all gotta make better geographical selections, man. Y'all gotta tighten up, man. What y'all? Ain't no one tell y'all to freeze y'all your nuts and your cheeks off, respectively. Yeah, man. Come down under. It's hot as freak. Let's hit the beaches. Hey, let's get it, man. Hit the beaches, man. You know what I'm saying? Go study abroad and study abroad. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I need to check out Australia, man. I need to get my travel on. More travel on. I haven't traveled really in a long time, so I need to get my passport tatted up. That hawk is biting. You feel me? Yeah, no cap. I like how y'all be cooking. I appreciate that, Fugazi. In here, man, a lot of this casual don't know shit about. I appreciate that. A lot of this casuals don't know nothing about. That's a fact, bro. You got to just, I don't know, man. I feel like, don't get me wrong. Of course, we want fights. I don't want to see Tank versus, as much as I like Tank, I don't want to see Tank and Roach. That's not the fight that I wanted. I wanted Tank versus Loma, Tank versus Shakur. Hell, I'd prefer Tank versus Rayo, Tank versus De Los Santos. But once you know better, you got to do better, and it'll be disingenuous for me to see that he tried. All evidence leads to him trying to get other fights that are better fights, that he was unsuccessful. So Lamont Roach is still a champion, still respect him. He's a good fighter. They have a history, and you know, even have a regional rivalry. It's not quite Australia versus New Zealand, but it's Baltimore versus DC. You know what I'm saying? That's a rivalry in the States, on stateside. So, you know, it may not be somebody that we're too excited about, but we could also find some positives about it too, just like any fight, you know. Every fight is not trash. Like, you know, there's some fights that you can't really justify, like in my opinion, Nye Inoue. Shout out to Nye Inoue. But you can't justify TJ Doheny, just like Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny or Teofimo versus Steve Claggett. You can't really find ways to justify that. But there's, you know, even with Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga, I didn't want Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga. I want Canelo and David Benavidez, or, you know what I'm saying? So anybody short of David Benavidez, naturally we're going to be slightly disappointed. But to act like there's no good fights for Canelo outside of Benavidez it just shows to me that you just don't pay attention to boxing. There's some fights that are exciting, like him versus Jaime Munguia was a good fight. In fact, Edgar Berlanga, I didn't like that fight. I didn't think Edgar Berlanga was too formidable of an opponent, but he was ranked #1 at the time that Canelo fought him. So you can't disregard that. I mean, you can, but I mean, That's how boxing goes, man. You can't be mad, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you can, but you shouldn't be mad once you know that Edgar Berlanga was a number one position. There should be a threshold on how much you are irate about that situation when you are cool with other people fighting guys that aren't ranked, like the aforementioned TJ Doheny and his opponents. You know what I'm saying? Or Steve Claggett when he fought Tio and shit. And he fights this weekend. Caroline Dubois versus, I can't remember her name. Matter of fact, let me look her up right now. She's a Canadian fighter. Caroline Dubois is fighting this weekend against a Canadian fighter, Jessica Kamara. That's her name. So that's a fight this weekend. Good Lord willing. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate that, brother. He not a troll. He just a beach. wait. Who's a beach? Is Tio the biggest troll in boxing? I swear he has to mention so many fights. I think we should block it. Yeah, I agree. And I agree with what Smoochie said. She said he's not a troll. Nope. He's just a beach.
Yeah.
A beach Nika. Any champion fighting Dohinki is crazy. Talk to him, Oscar.
Yeah.
Any champion fighting Dohinki is wild. Everybody stop wondering what Jerron is gonna do next. Well, he's supposed to be fighting Stanionis, so that should be a good fight. I saw people getting mad about that. Like, that's another thing too. Like we were just talking about, like how if you don't like Stanionis, you don't respect the Latvian champion. That's cool. But how can you say that it's not a fight that you wanted? How can a unification be a fight that you don't want? You may not be expecting it. You may not be anticipating it. You may not have requested it. But to say that you don't want it, like how can you be disappointed in a unification fight? That's what it just shows. Like, people, if you really just look between the lines, you can see when people just be hating, man. It's like, maybe you don't like Jerron Boutinez, of course, okay, but how can you be disappointed in a unification fight? I thought that's what we wanted the young man to do. I thought we wanted, not the young man, because it's not isolated to Jerron Boutinez. I thought we wanted the entire welterweight division to unify. So whether it's Barrios or Stanionis and Norman, or Norman and Boots, how can you be disappointed if two of them are coming together as champions and fighting? Oh, by the way, undefeated champions. Well, besides Barrios, the other three are undefeated, in Norman, Stanionis, and Boots. How can you be disappointed in that? It just shows that you don't really watch boxing. You just watch the stars, and that's okay too. But stop talking like you're any more than a casual than you are. You're a casual, like Fugazi said. Like, how can you be disappointed in a unification match? I don't care if it's Bam Rodriguez and Puma Martinez, or Fumalady Cafu and Bam Rodriguez. Those are unification fights. Or Junto Nakatani and Yoshiki Takei. Those are unification fights between undefeated champions. How can you be disappointed? Like, what do you a unification fight is like the conference finals in the NBA, like the Eastern Conference Finals or the Western Conference Finals. How are you disappointed in that? Of course, you might not get Steph and LeBron. Maybe the Lakers didn't make it. Maybe Golden State didn't make it. But it's still exciting basketball at the highest level. So what are we doing? Shout out to Fight Lab Analytics, man. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
My guy says, how do you see the heavyweight division playing out in 2025? I'm talking about fireworks. That's how I see it, man. I think it's going to be fireworks in the heavyweight division, man. My personal opinion. I think that a lot of people think that the heavyweight division is somewhat concluded because we have an undisputed champion. Man, I could argue that the heavyweight division is just getting popping, bro. Like, Dubois is a champion. Usyk's not undisputed because Dubois is a champion, but he was undisputed until he got stripped. But I could argue that Usyk may be on his way out, right? Tyson Fury may be on his way out, right? Anthony Joshua may be on his way out. Deontay Wilder should have been on his way out. He should have been out, but we still got Martin Bakole. He's not a spring chicken, but he's still on the younger side of his 30s. Joseph Parker on the younger side of his 30s. He's been around a long time, but he's still pretty young. I think he's 33 himself. We got Daniel Dubois, who's 27, I believe. We got Justice, who just fought, which, he's coming up. We have Ajit Kabayel fighting Big Bang Zhang, especially if Kabayel wins. I think, Kabayel being Zhang being like 42, Kabayel being a young bull, whether he wins or loses, he could still, even if he loses, he could still bounce back. You got Frank Sanchez, who only lost to Ajit Kabayel. We got, F.A. Jogbow there, Guido Vianello. Man, I think I know I'm missing some people, but the heavyweight division is looking as good as it's been in a while, as far as depth goes, So I think it plays out great, and I think Daniel Dubois comes out on top right now where I'm sitting. I could be wrong. Bakole is a big player. Moses Atama, the young bull, 19 years old, he can emerge as a big player. So I don't really have too much faith in any American heavyweights in particular, like Jared Big Baby Anderson or Richard Torres Jr., but you never know what they could do. You know, Johnny Fisher, I think he lost a lot of confidence with his performance against David Allen most recently, right? Shout out to my boy Oscar dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my boy Oscar, man. He said he about to teach us something about boxing today. I mean, he about to teach us something about soccer today.
Yeah.
Facts. In football terms, he said unified equals Champions League final.
Yeah.
Undisputed World Cup final.
Yeah.
Facts. Talk to him. So, yeah, I don't see how you could be disappointed in a unification. That means you just need to watch more boxing. Then you disappointed in a unification match. You sound stupid. I'm not going to lie. Usyk versus Dubois. I don't remember who said it, but you sound dumb. No matter who said it. Usyk versus Dubois 2 for undisputed would be the best fight to make at heavyweight. I think right now at this moment you're correct. Yeah, but I'm excited for a lot of fights, so I'm not gonna lie. Who's gonna win, Greg Hackett or Brian Norman Sr.? I don't know much about that fight, man. Wish them both the best. I don't know much about that, so I don't really have an opinion. Yeah, shout out to them though. We ain't going to heaven for that fight. Apollo said we ain't going to heaven for that. Yeah. Smoochie said Usyk and still, hey. You think Usyk? I don't even know. You think Usyk's gonna fight till the end of 2025, Smoochie? I don't know. I think Usyk. I don't know. He could. Yeah. I mean, maybe Usyk still. Yeah. That's a good prediction, Smoochie. A lot of us are assuming that Usyk's done, but Usyk said, "Hey man, I still got a lot left in the tank." So yeah. I mean, look at LeBron. He just did a freaking reverse or switch-handed dunk last night. He 40. So you know what I'm saying, and I think that a lot of these athletes with technology and awareness of the benefits of taking care of your body and stuff like that and being dedicated, we're changing the quote unquote limitations or the threshold in which you are considered a capable athlete, right? A capable period, not just an athlete, but even as a mind or whatever, a sharp mind or whatever. As long as you take care of yourself and try your best, take care of your body, minimize alcohol intake and other stuff like that, then you could preserve your functionality. So yeah, we just assuming that that Usyk is gonna retire, but he might well, yeah. And I will say this too: if Smoochie's correct, if Usyk fights throughout 2025, then I have no reason to pick against Usyk. That's a fact. So I take off. I'll switch my Daniel Dubois pick with make a Usyk selection. Which division is most likely and least likely to undispute or unify in 2025 outside of heavyweight? Shout out to my boy Ty dropping a good question, a thought provocation. You know what I'm saying? Thought provoking question. But he's also dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits
He said the division that I think is most likely to get undisputed. Most likely? I'm not going to count light heavyweight because that's a gimme, right? That fight's already made. So I'm going to exclude light heavyweight with Beterbiev and Bivol. That's too easy. The division, I'm going to go with a hopeful. Well, you said most likely. I'm going to give you 3 answers. What I'm hoping for, a division, a unification, undisputed? No. Most likely, you said unify or undisputed. Okay, unify. I say bantamweight. I think Junta Nakatani is gonna unify in his next fight. Not his next fight, but his fight after that. Because I think he's fighting. I can't remember who it was. Rumored he's gonna fight, but I think his fight after that, his subsequent fight is going to be a unification. So I would say 118 at bantamweight with Junta Nakatani, the least likely to unify. At the current rate that it's going, I have no reason to believe that 135 is going to unify, unfortunately. So, to much of our dismay, I would say the least likely to unify is 135. Unfortunately, we Tank, Shakur, Loma, and Berinchyk, who would soon to be potentially Keyshawn Davis, right? Berinchyk and Keyshawn Davis on Love Day, man. They bringing Love Day to the ring. February 14th, they're supposed to be fighting. So, I would say that one is least likely to unify or get undisputed, but I would say 118 with Junto was the most likely to unify. But I would say to get undisputed, I would say cruiserweight is the most likely to get. If we're going to isolate it to undisputed only, unify, I think most likely is 118 bantamweight. Least likely to unify is 135 in my opinion. The most likely to get another undisputed champion, I would say cruiserweight with Zurdo, Opetaia, Badu Jack and them. And then the least likely to get undisputed, I would say 135 again. Yeah, I don't know what Deontay Wilder is doing Fight Lab. We got to go talk to him, man. He need an intervention, man. Shout out to my boy Deontay Wilder. I say that from a place of concern, not a place of hate. You know, he was a great champion in my opinion. He was one of my favorite heavyweights, and he just seems like he's fighting past his capability and his ability to fight in a safe manner. Cool Breeze says 126. Oh, that's a good one. Featherweight with Angelo Leo, El Davino. You know, I'm talking about Rafael Espinosa. Anthony, no, that's 130. Anthony Kakasi, no, that's 130. Nick Ball and Brandon Figueroa, that needs to unify as well. I agree. And 126 unifications will be hot too. But I'm still going 118. But yeah, that'd be fire too. I hope that Espinosa stays at 126, man. I really think that he could get undisputed. I like him too with his tall ass, lanky ass. Pause. I don't know why that sounded like a pause. That sounded crazy. We gonna pause that.
No, did he?
But yeah, I think Espinosa is the one that will be able to get undisputed at 126. I don't know if he's gonna stick around there long enough in order to acquire an undisputed title, but yeah, that's the guy who I would lean towards. Yeah, 126. That's a good division. 130 as well, man. 130. You know, we got O'Shaquie Foster, Lamont Roach, who will retain his belt if he loses to Tank, right? Just like Navarrete did when he moved up to 135 and tried to fight Denys Berinchyk for a vacant title. He lost and still kept his belt at 130. So Lamont Roach is in a similar position. If he loses, he'll still have his belt at 130. So 130 is a good division too with Anthony Kakasi, Lamont Roach, O'Shaquie Foster, and Emmanuel Navarrete. So Shushu layup of the year. That's crazy. Oh man. He called him a layup of the year, bro. That's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Shushu got to lock in. I will say that. He's definitely, I will say this. If I could bet on somebody to get upset, which I don't think you could really get upset because he's not a champion, but he has championship expectations. Hell, he has undisputed expectations. People think you beat Nye anyway, which I think they're severely misinformed. He hasn't demonstrated any reason for me to believe that. Don't forget to smack that like button. But I do think that Shushu, if I had to put money on somebody being upset, he's the most likely that I would say would get upset this year. I root for Shushu, but yeah, I just don't see it, man. He's been looking shaky, baby. He's been looking shaky, man. My boy Dub says, how long are they going to hide Fundora at 154? I'm telling you, bro. Undisputed 154. Yeah, I like that too. I think Bud could do it. Cool Breeze. He'll walk a lick at 126. Paul, hey, yo. Hey, yo.
What do you mean by that?
Hey, yo, it's not necessary, but since you said if needed, yeah, it's necessary because you put that thought in our mind, bro. He said a walking lick.
What?
Hey, yo. I ain't take it like that, but now that you said it. But yeah, I think that they have a lot of exciting boxing to be had, man. With February 14th, you know. February 14th, Jared Big Baby Anderson's coming back against Marios Calayos, I believe is how you pronounce it, on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis Denys Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis. Got to respect the champion. Got to say him first, in my opinion. But I haven't seen anything to confirm that Big Baby Anderson is on the undercard of that Keyshawn Davis fight. But I mean, he's fighting February 14th, and he's with Top Rank, right? So I mean, that's just common sense. You know, I am assuming. I'm just letting you know. I don't like to say anything, and I'll let you know if I'm sure about it or if I'm not. But I mean, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. The fact that they're fighting on February 14th and they're both with Top Rank, so you would assume. I think the Valentine's Day is on a Friday as well this year, so the fact they're both fighting on a Friday, both for Top Rank, I think it's safe to assume that he would be on the undercard of the Berinchyk versus Davis fight. But I have not seen that confirmed. I'm just saying that I have seen both. I have seen Jared Anderson's date on the 14th and Buddy's date, Berinchyk and Davis date on the 14th as well. So, but I just want to be clear when I'm making assumptions and let y'all know. But yeah, man. So there's a lot of good boxes to be had, man. February should be a great month, you know. So we have just a rundown right now that we know. February 1st is Benavidez versus Morrell. Great card. Fire. My bad. I got you. Fire. We got Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis. Fire. And then we also have the February 22nd card, the Riyadh season joint, headlined by Beterbiev and Bivol for the undisputed rematch at 175. Light heavyweight, fire. So, yeah, January is it's a little dull in January, right? I mean, we started off right, compliments of Opetaia and Nyika, but you know, we do have this weekend, Caroline Dubois versus Kamara, and then I think the next fight is what, the 24th with Naoya Inoue versus Sam Goodman. So I don't know if there's anything in between that time. But, yeah, so we still have some good boxing to look at. Who y'all got between Berinchyk and Keyshawn Davis, man? I know a lot of people are picking Keyshawn. I'm leaning towards Keyshawn, but, man, Denys, he might have something for you, man. The old Ukrainian might have something for the young American, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes, but I think Keyshawn Davis, I like his focus. I like his attitude, you know what I'm saying? I like his demeanor. Now, sometimes he's a little wild, I think, as far as, like, I don't want to say he's talking too heavy because he's supposed to. You want to bring attention to yourself, but sometimes he don't want to. You want to muddle the line, right? You don't want to be too overzealous with some of your claims and stuff like that. Kind of like with Kid Austin, right? You know, Kid Austin is a sparring king and boogeyman monster in the gym, right? So now which is a good thing because he got the fight against Shakur. He got his title shot, but he has to look good, you know. I mean, you always have to look good. So you could really look at it as no pressure. But at the same time, now it's like people are kind of looking to call you trash, you know, because that's how people are, right? Fortunately, there's a lot of insecure folks, so they don't like people that are confident. And especially with his pops out there, his pops be wild. And so I think, Keyshawn, you don't want to be in that position to where if you look, even if you win against Berinchyk, if you don't look spectacular, people are going to be underwhelmed. You know, you don't want to be in that position. I think he's getting kind of close to that zone. But yeah, I think he should win. Let me not say should. I think he will win. But Denys Berinchyk, I think that's a tough fight, man. Like I said, they're doing their thing, man. Shout out to Denys Berinchyk. He's a champion. But yeah, man. My bad for the late. I got on late today because, man, you know, I was up since we were streaming at 3, right? No excuses or stuff like that. But I didn't sleep, man. I planned to take a nap after the stream, but you know, I dropped that video, so I didn't even sleep. And then I was taking care of some stuff, and then I took like a 30-minute nap, and then by the time I woke up, it was like 7:45 or something like that. So that's why I came on late, because I didn't sleep after the Job Attire fight. Shout out to Granny Sko. Shout out to Granny Sko. My boy Ty dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Shout out to Granny Sko. I like that. No. Big step of Ty in the building with the graffiti on the chat walls, man. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, man. So that's all I really wanted to talk about, man. I've kind of got my topics over with, man. So y'all let me know what y'all want to discuss, man. Smoochy schmoochy. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, man. I know I may be reaching or whatever, but I'm impressed with David Nyika, man. I thought he fought a good fight. He fought he could have tried to box. He could have boxed a little bit more, but I think that he fought like that. No need to explain. We all drowsy. Appreciate it, Dub. I think that he fought like that because, number one, he caught Job Attire to his own admission. He caught him off guard. And number two, he probably figured that was his best way to win. Because it might be easy to say outbox somebody, but like I said, doing my film study and my research on David Nyika, I told y'all that he fought kind of stiff and upright, you know, and I don't think that bodes well fighting against a guy that's more athletic than you. But yeah, I was really impressed with his heart and the fact that he didn't shy away from the moment he fought. I just wish that these young fighters, you know, would try to, like Oscar and Karma said this morning, you know, he fought well in the clinch, but I thought that he needs to know when to clinch after he gets hurt, man. After he got knocked down and then he went right back to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could see him attempt to clinch and it just didn't look good. It didn't seem like. Compare his attempt to clinch Job Attire with Floyd Mayweather's clinch against Sugar Shane. You see what I'm saying? It's like we never, for the most part, we say that was the first time we seen Floyd Mayweather get hurt like that. Of course, we seen Zab Judah punch him to where they have the glove gate, right, where it's like, oh, did his glove really touch the canvas? Should that have counted as a knockdown? So I'm not saying that we haven't seen him stumbled or rocked before, but we never seen him hit like that to the point where he probably should have got dropped. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Floyd for that fortitude, you know, and his resilience and his ability to say I'm not going. His embodiment of I'm not going. And you look how he clinched with Floyd against Sugar Shane. He clinched and got himself out of hot water, out of the deep woods. You know, so I think that people should study that, you know, especially the young fighters, because a lot of them just don't seem like they know how to clinch, man. They don't practice that, you know, and you need to, because you just never know when someone might hit you with that act right, you know, a big right hand or that big left hand. So to me, if that's something he could work on, but like I said, man, he rocked Opetaia, and to Opetaia's own admission again. And shout out to Opetaia, man. Shout out to David Nyika. I saw them embrace. And I thought that was dope, man. He was very humble in defeat. Like I said, I'm rooting for David Nyika to make a bounce back. And I like him, man. I like his personality, man. Shout out to him. And shout out to Opetaia. Opetaia looked very impressive himself. So I'm looking forward to seeing him attempt to get undisputed. And him and Zurdo just shot up, you know, boosted interest a lot more, you know, because the cruiserweight division is not really a sought after division like that. So they're doing their thing, man. They're bringing it back. Bring it back to the bottom of the map. 8-8. So let me pull up these basketball games, man. Who watching the basketball games, man? Who watching the basketball games, man? Or should we crash a party? Should we go crash Ryan Frazier? You know what I'm talking about? Should we crash the man party? My boy out there streaming. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come and chop it up with y'all real quick. You know, get it in real quick. Get a little quickie. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Smoochie said nobody? What you mean nobody? Wait, what you talking about? He said, yo, my boy Ty still going, man. Okay, we gonna stick with it then, man. My boy dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my boy Ty, man. Let's go, man. Shout out to him, man. Thank you, brother. Let's keep it going. Yeah, no Diddy. A quickie was crazy. I meant like a quick stream. We not at 10. Let's keep it going. He did well when he imposed his size, but his lack of mobility, yes. Agreed 1,000%. My boy about to preach right now. Let me get it ready. He did well when he imposed his size.
Yeah.
But his lack of mobility got him cooked.
Yeah.
But he won't be putting fries in any bag. Talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't think my boy is a bum, man. I think David is going to bounce back, man. I think it's up to him to get better, and he seems like he has his head on his shoulders. He's focused. So as long as he stays focused, man, I think he can bounce back, man, for sure. I'm actually looking forward to him coming back. And like we already said, bro, the cruiserweight division is not a stacked division, so he could bounce back easy. You know what I'm saying? Get him a winner or two here against ranked opponents that are pretty much unknown. I mean, he's right back in the mix. Go the WBC route. If no one gets to Badu Jack, try to fight Badu Jack. He's an older guy, 41 years old. Boom. You right back in the mix, man. I know it sounds easier than it might. Probably easier said than done, but, you know, it's a path there. You know, it's really only two guys that I could say off the top of my head that will definitively. I'm not saying that Badu Jack won't beat David. I'm not saying that nobody else will beat David. What I'm saying is Maris Braid is retired. Chris Billiam-Smith and David Nyika will be a good fight. Chris Billiam-Smith probably wins, but there's nobody outside of Opetaia and Zurdo that I think too many people would have heavily favored over David. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think he could bounce back. Shout out to my boy Oscar dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
My boy Czar, who's also in Florida, Smoochie, says it's cold as outside. Shout out to my boy Czar in the building. Yeah. Tell her about it, Czar. It get cold out here, man. You know what I'm talking about? Tell her, Czar. Hey, because we also get sun, too. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Appreciate the love in the super chats, man. He said, hell yeah, let's visit Brother Ryan. Yeah, we can check out Ryan. We're going to keep it going over here for a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all showing love, man. I appreciate it. So, you know, I don't want to, you know, be like those that come late to the cookout, you know, just take a plate and run and stuff. So, you know, I appreciate that love, man. So, y'all got to let me know what y'all want to talk about, man. What y'all think about Badu Jack, man? Do you think that Badu Jack has a chance to beat Zurdo or what's the dude's name? Zurdo or Jai? Do you think he has a real chance, or you think it's just he better stay away from them? He better he better be content holding on to the y'all think he better be content holding on to the WBC belt? Do you think if give him a real chance to unify against Zurdo? My bad, I'm trying to pull up this game, man. Box side. Bruh. I'm about to get mad. I'm hungry too. What am I gonna eat? I ate some cod and some rice earlier. He said, y'all don't know cold. It gets cold out here for top tours are. Top tours are. But yeah, man. So what y'all think? Do you think that the only real players at cruiserweight is Zurdo and Jai? Or do you think Badu Jack can make some waves? I think Badu Jack can make some waves, man. I think he's a tough out. And I actually think that maybe I'm tripping for this, but I think Badu Jack is a better matchup for Jai than he is against Zurdo. I think Zurdo might be too active and young for him. Granted, Opetaia is young too, but I think that Zurdo has a faster pace that would not behoove. It's not conducive for Badu Jack being a little older. I think he has a better chance against Opetaia. I think he loses to both, but I think he matches up better against Opetaia. Maybe I'm tripping though. I didn't even know Badu still fight till recently. He better stay away from Opetaia. My boy Ty dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. My boy single. My boy getting us to the goal, man. Dominating the super chats, man. Shout out to Oscar too, man. My brothers right there, man. They're those two right there, and I think Fight Lab as well. Shout out to Fight Lab Ty. Yes, sir. Fight Lab Ty and Oscar, man. Y'all holding it down, man. I appreciate that, man. It really means a lot to keep us going and growing. You know what I'm talking about? El Jefe Ty. Talk to him. Ball shit. I told Ryan Frazier about to smash and break his like button shortly. Don't say, hey, let's go. We about to go check him out. Yes, sir. I honestly think good old Jack is hoping Zurdo and Jai fight first, so at least he gets a great payday. Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. Now, Wilder, tell freaking Malik, get out your corner because you're hanging it up, and make sure you tell that to put the fries in the bag. Facts. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't like to go too hard on Malik Scott, but you know, I really think that it's hard not to argue that he's not the worst thing that happened to, in a boxing sense. It's hard to argue that he's not the worst thing that could happen. That happened to Deontay, man. And the fact that he keeps pushing for Deontay to get these big fights that come with equally as big ass whoopings, I think it's just not good, man. You got to care for your fighter. I'm not sure if he really cares, you know, about Deontay, you know. But hey, it is what it is, man. He wants to fight, and he's gonna get paid doing it. Shout out to him. I'm gonna watch and tune in and root for him, but I just don't think he has it anymore, man. You don't have it anymore. It's the wrong sport to be in for not have it, you know. Shout out to my boy Oscar, man, dropping that big and final super chat. Graffiti on the chat walls to hit the goal. Shout out to my boy. He said 2-4 in the building. What's good, brethren? He said, Special Ed is going to take a break from putting them fries in the back at the Wendy's to stop Doc when we get to rice. Hey, bro. Shout out to him, man. Hey, man. Shout out to the haters, man. You know, not be when I say shout out to the family, you know, BTF gang, it's a different shout out. It's a love shout out. When I say shout out to the haters, it's that they help me recognize that I'm doing something right. Because every time that they hate on your boy, they acknowledging that they got something that they like. You know what I'm talking about? And they just can't get it. You feel me? Because they pay attention to me. I never pay attention to them. So shout out to them, man. Keep watching me, you know? You're a watcher. You get no action. You's a watcher. You know? So yeah, shout out to them, man. Keep on hating. I appreciate it, man. It keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? It's just another sign, you know, that we doing our thing, man. Slowly but surely, you know what I'm saying? Slow progress better than no progress. You know what I'm talking about? So we gonna get there, man. God is good. We gonna make it. Shout out to all the support too, man. Obsession, I'm telling you. Obsession. Doc, you should do a low-key hater wave to the secret haters. We know the love. You know what I'm talking about? We know they love you. You feel me? Hi, haters. Nah, man. Shout out to the love I get too, man. But yeah, man, the love is stronger. You feel me? Love conquers hate. That's why, shout out to y'all. Got something they like. They watching what you got going on. Hey, no Diddy.
No Diddy.
Hey, but you know what? Shout out to the feedback I got from a select few people in regards to the show, man. We're gonna also look into 2025. We don't want to stagnate, right? We want to keep evolving and keep progressing. So I'm looking into you know what I'm saying, give me some time. I ain't gonna put no timeline on it, but we looking on, you know what I'm saying, or revamping. I don't gonna say revamping, just adding some things to the show. Make and just try a different little style, different format, and see how folks like it. But yeah, let's see if it could be a little more interactive and a little bit more structured. Honestly, I think your haters are fans in closet. Oh yeah, that's what haters are. Oscar, you're right about that. They closet fans, man. I mean, I showed y'all the, just because the dude was lying on me, I showed y'all the messages where he literally asked me to co-host. So he gotta love my material, no matter how much he says out of anger, out of emotions, no matter how much some of them say out of their anger and emotions. Two of my biggest haters, one of them was on the show every day, right? And he mad because his pimp game is weak. He tried to holler at somebody in the chat, what I'm saying, and they weren't going for it, so he got mad at the chat. He got mad at the channel, which is very weird energy. And the other guy, he literally asked me to do a show with him and co-host. So of course they like what we doing over here. Ooh, I didn't get to see. You ain't show me. I put it on the stream. You probably missed that stream. Yeah, there's nothing juicy though. It's just, I don't like showing DMs, but because you were saying crazy stuff, I had to prove my innocence, if you will. You don't let nobody slander you off lies. You know what I'm saying? It's all right if you snitch on me, but let me do it. Don't lie and snitch on me. You know what I'm saying? I love accountability, man. I'm a grown ass man. Adults love to be accountable. So if I did something and you told on me, I'll take my accountability. You know what I'm saying? You still a bitch and a snitch for telling, but I'll take accountability. But if you gonna tell on me and lie on me, I'm not going. I'm not going. You're not gonna lie and snitch on me. That's crazy. Haters wish they could type in your facts. So but yeah, man, so I'm actually looking forward to Gabriela Fundora's next fight as well. And you know who I'm also looking forward to make a big splash in the women's division? I'm looking forward to see what Chantel Cameron does next. I think it's so crazy to me. I know Katie Taylor is more accomplished. Shout out to Katie Taylor, I like her too, but I've always liked Chantel Cameron a little more. And it's crazy that she kind of goes under the radar, right? Because she only has one loss, and her one loss is to Katie Taylor. And the fact that she only has one loss, people forget that one loss was a revenge loss on behalf of Katie Taylor. Chantel Cameron beat Katie Taylor first. Chantel Cameron gave Katie Taylor a rematch. I don't think people realize that, So Chantel Cameron, she had a pretty good year this year. I look forward to seeing her make some more waves in the women's division. Like I said, we starting off with Carolyn Dubois this weekend. I'm gonna be tuning in for that fight. And yeah, man, I think there's some good boxing on the horizon. Oscar, they be in chat. Larkin singing "I Believe." Yeah, man. And then so who is y'all pick for trolls be like get banned then come back as exactly right, that part as a watcher, but it's all good though. But yeah, I did y'all what's y'all verdict on Justice Hooney? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Hooney or Honey, I think it's Hooney. JPH, what do you think about him? Do you think he has a serious chance to be to make a splash in the heavyweight division? Do you think he's too small? I think he's undersized, but I think he could be. I think it's interesting. I think he has some interesting fights. I think it'll be an interesting fight between him and Frank Sanchez. Even him and Philip Hrgovic, but I think Philip Hrgovic will get the best of him. But yeah, I think it's interesting to have him as a player, but I don't know how well he does. Like him and Moses Atama is pretty interesting. Him and Ricardo Torres, excuse me. There's some interesting fights out there, but I just don't know. I don't know if he could stand up to the likes of Ajit Kabayel, Martin Bacoli, Daniel Dubois, Zele Zhang, Joseph Parker. Can he hang with those bigger guys? I'm not sure. Guido Vianello, Efe Ajagba. I don't know if he. I know he. I would like to see him against the smaller heavyweights, but can he hang with the bigger guys? I think he might be kind of out of his league. But I don't know, man. You know, we'll see how it goes. Time will tell. Time will tell, man. Those of you unfamiliar with Justice Hooney, he just fought today. And we had him in our tier list for that's how you know we be going in, chat. You know, Justice Hooney was on our tier list for when we did the heavyweight tier list. Did we combine heavy and cruiserweight, or did we combine light heavy and cruiserweight? I don't remember. But he was on the heavyweight tier list, you know. Yeah, so he definitely won. Beat the South African fighter and Sean Porgier, or whatever his name was, the guy that was 29 years old. There ain't no way in hell he was 29 years old. They said that guy was 29 years old. Everybody in the chat simultaneously and collectively said, bullshit, 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 bullshit. If that dude was 29, bitch, I'm 19. There's no way that dude was 29. Hey, yo, that was crazy, bro. Maybe cruiserweight, he didn't show anything big. I believe Torres Jr. is more entertaining. Yeah, I believe Torres is more entertaining. I think that fight's a good fight, though. I don't know if he can make cruiserweight, though. That's the thing, you know. But I think cruiserweight is more fitting for him as well. I agree with you. But I don't know if he can make that. I don't know if he can make that, man. Well, chat, I'm going to go get me some food, chat. I am hungry. A random thought. Clarissa Shields, low-key, a current champion at 160, 175. Talk to low-key and high-key. And heavyweight. If there were female cruiserweights, she beat their ass. Talk to, bro. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Thank you, bro. Like, I know, and there's no shot at anybody in particular if they're listening. I'm not throwing a shot at anybody. I'm just speaking in general. I think whether you like her or not, it's hard. If you're an honest person, it's hard to refute the fact that she is probably one of the most hated on boxers right now, if not the most. You know, and a lot of it is unjustified, because if a lot of fighters were doing what she was doing, male or female, they would get a lot more love, because people get a lot more love for less, you know. And shout out to, but she's not the only one, you know what I'm saying? Michaela Mayer's doing her thing, shout out to her. Gabriela Fondora's doing her thing, shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women fighters doing their thing. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, of course, got to give them kudos. And so Carolyn Dubois, you know, hell, Shadeja Green, you know, she's bouncing back nice off of her sole defeat to Cruz, right? Franson Cruz. But Clarissa's definitely ahead of the pack, let me tell it. You think Clarissa will retire before she gets her first loss? I think so. I think she's gonna retire undefeated. But this person she's fighting, there go Karma. Shout out to Karma. Karma Serene, Dr. Karma in the building. Smoochie, I think that she will retire undefeated. But there's no guarantee, because that's the thing. Like, she's not playing it safe. I know, like Karma pointed out, she's right. People will look at her and say, oh, Danielle Perkins is only 5-0. But people will forget that Danielle Perkins, don't we care about amateur record? Right? I thought we always talk about Beterbia's amateur pedigree, Lomachenko's amateur pedigree. Don't we always talk about that? Wasn't a focal point for me with David Nyika? It was not his lack of experience under the professional lights. It was his excellence at his amateur background, right? Being a gold medalist, right? And stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying Danielle Perkins was a gold medalist, but bitch, she's undefeated as an amateur and as a professional. So yes, she's 5-0, and she doesn't have a huge sample size of amateur fights, but I think she's 12-0 in amateurs. So, and this is at heavyweight again. We cannot forget that, you know. We cannot omit that. She's fighting a heavyweight. She started at 154. That's Roy Jones-esque things. But we don't care, because she talks a lot of shit while backing up a lot of shit that she's talking. Does that not count for something? I mean, Conor McGregor talks a lot of shit and he don't back up nothing. You know, he was, for a little bit he was, don't get me wrong, he was doing his thing against like Jose Aldo and stuff like that. Can't knock Conor McGregor. He earned his stardom, but there was a time where he started getting punched on, you know what I'm talking about? And and he talks more shit than a little bit, you know, so we just got to be fair on that too. Wait, what? That was not a shot. I do not want no smoke with your biggest op. No, I knew you. I wasn't saying you were shooting that Karma. No, I wasn't saying you was shooting that Karma. I wasn't shooting that Karma either. Shout out to Karma. I think that, you know, there's everybody's not gonna like everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's natural. You know, look at LeBron, how great he is. Everybody don't like LeBron. Look how great Tom Brady is. Everybody don't like Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Look how great Denzel is. Oprah. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio in their respective fields. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce. You know, I keep going Lil Wayne, you know, hell, Taylor Swift. Everybody don't like everybody. You're not going to like everybody. You know, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo. That's okay. But at the same time, too, we do got to realize, whether I'm not saying that anybody individually, like, I'm not talking about anybody individually. I'm saying as collective, boxing does not show Clarissa Shields love. Whether you talk about ESPN as a media outlet or people when they disregard her, whether they're saying not counting her as one of the most recent Olympic gold medalists, you know, which is crazy. Olympic gold is being an Olympic participant, much less a gold medal receiver, is one of the biggest accomplishments, if not the biggest, for an athlete and representing their nation. How do you overlook that? You know what I'm saying? And you could say, oh, well, those are accidents. Well, it's a coincidentally that the accidents, when it comes to disrespect, is usually Clarissa Shields. They ain't forget Andre Ward's. You feel me? Hell, I'm look what I'm doing. I'm a content creator. I'm just a one-man army. You know what I'm saying? As far as the content that I put out, the research that I do, I'm by myself. And I'm small time. I remember Daniel Nyika won a bronze. I knew that. I'm not from New Zealand. I'm not in his camp. I didn't know him since we were wee bit little crickets or whatever, you know. We bit little insects, or we bit little, I don't know what to say. We bit little children, little babies. I just do my research, bro. So somebody like ESPN or somebody that's a big media outlet, boxing coverage, how do you overlook that, bro? You have a whole team. It's just me by myself, and I shouted out David Nyika for winning gold in the Commonwealth Games. You're overlooking someone who won gold in the Olympics? Come on, bro. That's not accidental, bro. That's intentional, bro. I don't care what you, there's too many of y'all. Ain't nobody see that. And then when they were talking about the GOATs, the most dominant women athletes, they talked about Serena Williams. Big salute to her. They talked about Katie Ledecky. Those of you unfamiliar with Katie Ledecky, yes, I watch sports. That's a swimmer. That's a phenomenal swimmer. You know what I'm saying? They talked about Serena Williams, phenomenal tennis player. Katie Ledecky, phenomenal swimmer. Not Gabby Douglas, sorry. Simone Biles, phenomenal gymnast. And they talked about somebody else. I think it was a track star. It was I don't remember who it was. Allison Felix, I'm not sure. But it was 4 women that were very dominant in their respective sport. You know who they did not talk about? Fucking Clarissa Shields. Conveniently, accidentally, right? Unintentionally, right? Fuck out of here, bro. They disrespect her, bro. And if you don't acknowledge that, then you probably lie about some more shit in your life. It just is what it is, bro. I could literally pull up the coverage. How you talk about the GOATs and you don't talk about Clarissa Shields, you know? And you could say, oh, well, it's because no one pays attention to boxing. Bitch, nobody pays attention to gymnastics. Nobody pays attention to swimming except for in the Olympics. So it's not that, you know, it's disrespect. That just is what it is, whether you like her or not. That's just the facts. I could show you, it's documented. So it has nothing to do with you liking her to acknowledge that. And like I said, I'm not talking to anybody individual. I'm not talking to Karma. I'm just saying, I'm talking about as a whole from a boxing community. She does not get a lot. She does not get the appropriate amount of love that she deserves. Or even if forget love, she doesn't get the appropriate amount of acknowledgement that she deserves. That's just a fact. It's weird how ESPN can allocate funds for Clarissa's life story, but they can't have her as a mainstay like most of our American Olympics. Okay. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying, you know, it is her attitude. You know, there's a lot. You know, shout out to not just women, but particularly black women. You know, people don't like a confident woman, you know, especially men, right? So when you are confident and they want you to be a quiet winner, you know, especially when you're a woman, and particularly a black woman. So I'm not saying that her personality is easy to digest, but we look past people's bad personalities that did not perform as well as her. We look past Conor McGregor's bad personality. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, we look past Floyd's bad personality. We look past whoever, you know what I'm saying, whatever star, you know, Ronda Rousey's bad personality. We look past things for some folks, and they don't look past it for her. Yo, Tinky Winky in the building was good. Got cooked and went straight to the bottom. Hey, yo, he sat there after he tapped like, damn, this nigga really just choked me up. wait, who got punched? Oh, you talking about Conor. So, and I like Conor McGregor, but he's very abrasive, right, and aggressive. I mean, he went and destroyed whatever he destroyed, vandalized and destroyed that bus or whatever. know what I'm saying? Imagine if Clarissa Shields did that. We mad at Clarissa just because she talk a little bit of shit, and she confident. That's her biggest. That's her biggest knock. Not because she's losing, not because she's being a criminal, not because she's vandalizing somebody or violating somebody, but because she talks shit. Let that sink in. Michaela Mayer, I don't think it was Michaela Mayer. Let me be very clear on this. But still, Michaela Mayer's opponent in Sandy Ryan got got assaulted with paint. Can you imagine if Clarissa Shields did that to her opponent? Not saying it was Michaela Mayer, but I'm saying the optics would look. Can you imagine if that happened to a Clarissa Shields opponent? You know what I'm saying? So yes, what Ty said is correct too. I like Michaela Mayer though. I ain't gonna lie. I like her. I don't know why about it. She cool to me. I like her. Shout out to Natasha Jonas too. I like her too. But yeah, it's just the truth of them. If you look at things without, if you take off your blindfold and just look at things, and you would see. Lurking in the background, just wanted to drop in to say, hey, and check. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, Red. He said, hey, and check CA. Oh, Cash App? I don't know where my phone is at. I ain't got my phone on me. I appreciate. My bad if anybody hit the Cash App, man. Give me a second. Where the heck is my phone, chat? Oh. I don't have a notification on the Cash App, CA. But thank you though, I appreciate it. That's love. Yeah, my phone be tripping anyway. Maybe it didn't come through, but I appreciate that. Shout out to you. I didn't get a notification. I don't know why. Sometimes my Cash App be tripping. Yo, shout out to. Oh, I didn't know that this is Reddy. Shout out to Reddy, man. Yo, Reddy dropping. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie, Reddy. Shout out to Reddy, man. That's my dog, Reddy, man. She's so dope, man. Shout out to the ladies that supporting, man. I appreciate that love. One time for the. I didn't know that was you, Red. Shout out to Red in the building, man. Dropping that love on the Cash App. One time for the ladies. Chat, I think this is the biggest single donation that we've had on the stream. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Shout out to Reddy. Shout out to Zar knows Red. Shout out to Reddy dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Shout out to Reddy coming through with the big hundun. You know what I'm talking about? She says, keep up the awesome work. Proud of you. I appreciate that. Dropping the big hundo. You know what I'm saying? Coming through like a boss. Shout out to Red, man. Red, she used to come through on back on my Twitch days. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Reddy. I appreciate that. Big love to you. I really appreciate that. Gonna make a grown man cry, man. Shout out to all the love I get, man. I really appreciate all y'all for real, man. From everybody, you know what I'm saying? For smashing that like button, for coming through, chopping it up with me, talking trash to me, joining the Discord in whatever capacity which you contribute. You know what I'm saying? Especially the members and the super chatters and the Cash Appers and the stickers, everything, man. I gotta shout them out a little more, but I appreciate everybody. I really do. Subscribers, everybody, man. That really means a lot, man. Shout out to Red, man. We gotta run that boss thing again now. La Heifer coming through, man. She the big boss. W Red is right. Facts. This man Ty said bad for bad. Nah, bro. You show love, bro. You good, bro. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Carter hitting senior citizen up for you. Feel me, Tinky Weeky. Yeah, Red showing love. I really appreciate that, Red. Big hundun. Oh my goodness, that's love. Shout out to you, Red. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and every other holiday that you observe. I really appreciate that. Big salute. Thank you so much. That's keeping us going and growing. You feel me? Big biscuits. This man Zara said, "You talking to Red right now? So what's up, man?" Tell her I said, well, I mean, I could tell her myself. Tell her I said hello. Even though I'm telling her myself. You know, that's what's up, man. Y'all on that Call of Duty? Man, shout out. Oh, man, that means a lot. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to go get me a big-ass, juicy-ass steak. Big-ass your motherfucking back. Shout out to rest in peace, Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying? So, man, give me a big, juicy-ass steak. Oh, yeah. Size of your motherfucking back. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the love. Shout out to Red. I definitely did not have my phone. I apologize that you had to hit me up and let me know that, too. I did not have my phone on me. You know, I appreciate that. I didn't even know where my phone was. And Plug just text me too, Red. That's crazy. Plug just text me. Let me find out y'all in the y'all in the party right now on that Call of Duty. That's crazy. Plug just text me out of nowhere. She watching your stream. I appreciate that for real. That's crazy. Karma said I'm a whale. I see. If I wasn't a whale, I'd probably split with you. But since you're talking that shit, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't getting no steak though. I'm joking anyway. But I really appreciate that for real. Yes, sir. I misplug my buddy. I'm telling you, man. It's biscuits to black folks what beads are to Mexican. Wait, what? Yo, Tiki Wiki, bro. You be saying some crazy stuff, man. I don't know. I can't answer that question, you know, because I don't know what. To be honest, you know, I think biscuits taste good. I don't really know what they are to all the black folks, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and I don't know what beads are to all my Mexican brethren and sisters. But yeah, biscuits are definitely good. You know, we drop biscuits in the hood. So when you say like you breaking bread, that's all that's indicative of is yeah, I don't want to say anything like crazy. So it's not like biscuits go with everything. If that's what you're saying, nah, it's not like we gonna have pizza and biscuits. Not saying anybody's having pizza and beans. I'm just saying, no, it's just like you know, we breaking bread, like you know. Biscuit is a form of bread. I just thought it was funny. But the biscuits in that, the reference that the biscuits in that clip is referring to, the reference is making is Popeyes. You know, you can't really have Popeyes without biscuits, and Popeyes biscuits are good, right? To a lot of us, you know, some people think they're too dry, but that's all that was. I was a fat guy talking about biscuits. It wasn't anything to do with it. It could have been a Hispanic guy or white guy or Asian guy or a girl, you know. It didn't have to be a guy. It was just funny because it was a person that enthusiastic about biscuits. You know, it could have been. It didn't even have to be a big person. It could have been a small person too. It was just funny because that person was so enthusiastic about the biscuits. That's all. Doc beat them racial allegations off for a good save. Yes, I appreciate it, dude. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? You got to think a little bit for your answer. You can't be impulsive, man. That's why we pray. Not only do we pray for patience, we pray for understanding. You know, because he may not have meant that in a crazy way. It sounded crazy, but maybe that was not his intention. You know, we back. Ryan got off. Oh, Ryan's back. Ryan got off. Oh man, I forgot to go hit that like. Let me go. It's never too late to go hit that like though. Shout out to my boy Ryan, man. I want to pull up on. Shout out again to Red. That really means a lot. And not only that, shout out to what the heck? Shout out to Ty and Oscar and Fight Lab and everybody that contributed to us in our goal today. You know, I think it was just those three, man. Shout out to them. And then of course shout out to Red for the big I was gonna say big boy funds, but the big girl funds. I appreciate that for real. Yes sir, yes sir, yes ma'am. Means a lot. Yep. But yeah, Doc keeps that thing on him. Hey, wait, hold on, wait, what you talking about? Wait, what you talking about, Karma? I ain't finna find nobody. I'm peaceful. Are you breaking down Popeye's biscuits, bro? Hey, shout out to my brother right there, man. Doc, man, that's my guy. I want to let y'all know, man. That's I know my boy for a long time, man. You know, I met him in college. Smart brother right there, man. From the hood too. He never let you forget it. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that he does that from arrogant or a cocky standpoint. It's just in him. You know, it's natural. So shout out to him, man. My boy. I'm very proud of my boy right there, man. I know you're proud of me too. So. That's my guy, man. We came into college together, and we both left with the same thing, man. We both got our doctorate. So that's why I always call him Doc. I make sure to call him Doc, and he makes sure to call me Doc because it's kind of like when you box, right? You know, Paulie Malignaggi calls Chris Algieri champ, right? Because they might not be a champion. Once you're a champion, you're always a champion. Or like when you call President Obama, you call him president as a respect thing, even though he's not the active president. He's a former president. Once you're a president, you're always a president, whether it's President Bush, President Clinton, President Obama, whatever. So it's just like, you got that. So you call him Doc. It's just a respect thing. I call him Doc because he's a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like a respect thing, A brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? The club, you feel me? And it's a very exclusive club, man. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, good night. You out, Smoochie? Have a good night, Smoochie. Allegedly, Doc got a snack in the oh, that's what he said. Doc always keep that thing on him. Okay. I thought you talking about like the heat. I'm about to say, I ain't finna shoot nobody. I'm enjoying this. My boy Tech Dumb Dad in the building. We got Doc in the building. Doc Capehart. Stayed away from the internet all day. Just watch the Opetaia fight. I told you Opetaia by murder. You did say that, Tech. That's true. You definitely said by murder. I was the one that gave David Nyika some credit.
Yeah.
But Opetaia still needs to tighten up that defense a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But that power is real.
Yeah.
That's a fact too. But I will say, David, snack. I had to scroll up. My bad. Smoochie, don't leave. I told Smoochie, I don't know where Smoochie going. Talk about she going to sleep. She ain't tired. Hey, I thought y'all was leaving. Oh, now we here for a little bit. 20 years this fall be is crazy, bro. 2 decades is crazy. He shotgun Suge with. What you know about battle rap, man? Oh boy said he shotgun Suge with the snacks. I ain't got a shotgun drop, but I'm gonna play this one. I ain't got a shotgun Suge battle rap drop, but I do got a easy battle rap drop, Geechee Gotti battle rap drop.
Nigga, you's a bitch.
And I got a Shark City Ave battle rap drop.
Don't speak on how they pay you, because pocket watching us men shouldn't do, and that's just by nature. But thank you.
20 years, bro. It's crazy. He said he on a different snack. I ain't gonna lie. I be liking those snacks. Yeah, I'm on a different snack. The snack she on is crazy. I ain't on that snack. Good night, Karma. Good night, Smoochie. Smoozy. I like that. Smoozy. He's moving crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You talking about fighting me. You the one that would make sure you. Hey, I'm gonna test you. You definitely gonna do a hair follicle test. We gonna get a phlebotomist for you. We gonna check that blood work. That's the saliva. Urine analysis. We checking all that. Toenails, all that. Cause you on different type of timing. You know what I'm saying? You on that Ryan Garcia pack. I'm not going. I'm gonna call Clarissa Shields to help me. you know, she died to put her hands on you. She don't block you. I'm gonna get Clarissa Shields on the show. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take away Karma's mod. We gonna interview Clarissa Shields one of these days, man. We gonna have to take away Karma's mod though, cause she gonna act crazy. We gonna have to keep her Karma in check, man. Well, that was a nice move by Russell Westbrook. Ooh, he said he a baby too. Ooh. Who he just baby? That was Norman Powell? Don't do Norman Powell like that. You're going to sleep. I ain't mad at that. I be tired anyway. Tech Dumb Dad, man, coming through, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
My boy Tech Dumb Dad dropping that graffiti on the chat walls. He said, salute DBT and DBT fam. Yes, sir, man. Jai by murder in 9 and 10 versus. Ooh! You think Jai beats Zurdo? We were just talking about that earlier, Tech, before you slid in the chat, man. I'm leaning towards Zurdo quite a bit, like you already alluded to it, right? That defense, man. I think with David Nyika, when he stunned Jai, and shout out to Jai. He definitely did his thing. I'm giving him full credit for this fight. David Nyika is tall in stature, 6'6". He has an amateur background that's extensive, former Olympian, bronze medalist, similar to Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber. bomber. He has gold medalist in Commonwealth Games. I think he was a formidable opponent, right? He was top 10 in the rankings, which is why he's able to not skip his mandatory. David Nyika was able to suffice as a mandatory for the IBF because per IBF rules, if your mandatory isn't available, like Hussein Sankar wasn't after suffering an ankle injury, he could replace him with a top 10 opponent. That's what David Nyika is. So he's a formidable guy, and he came to fight, man. So I give Opetaia all the credit in the world for that, you know. But still, you know, he is lacking a little bit of experience in the professional ranks, that being David. And I think that with David being able to get with him, although I think David has more one-shot power than Zurdo, ooh, that boy Russell Westbrook off the glass with it. Denver smacking the Clippers right now, 90-64, and Aaron Gordon in street clothes. But I think David Nyika has more one-punch power. I think Zurdo Ramirez has better hand speed and combinations, and I think that he has better experience. And I think that Zurdo could potentially be too much for Opetaia on the inside. But of course, on the flip side, Opetaia has athleticism, and I think he does have more power than Zurdo. And we saw Chris Billiam-Smith, he kind of stunned Zurdo in that first round before Zurdo turned up on him. Was it first round or second round? It was early before Zurdo turned up on it. Either way, I think it's a good fight. I'm leaning towards Zurdo right now. But, I mean, I think that's as close to a 50-50 fight you're going to get up there in that cruiser joint, that cruiserweight division. And butter biscuits, yes, sir. Yeah, I had to explain it, Doc. You know, some people ain't as cultured. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we well cultured, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's why expand your horizons is good. So you can be exposed to different ethnicities and, you know, have a diverse, be able to relate to all types of people, man. But, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't mind you asking, man. I love to explain anything if I can. Zurdo has a better chin, but Opetaia a bit more power. I agree, Tinky. I agree, man. Appreciate that love of the super chat. I'm going to do her like that man did in sparring. The fact that you keep referencing that dude, man, that's crazy. She said, I'm going to do Clarissa Shields like that man did in sparring. Don't do her like that, man. Don't do Clarissa like that, man. Put my dog on her back. That's crazy, man. Shame on somebody, and then maybe they did check her for, but shame on them in the gym for not even, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was fair game because they were sparring. It's fair game, and please believe some of them women will punch on your ass for sure. They will definitely punch on you. So, you know, but yeah, he definitely put her on her back pockets. Shout out to Clarissa Shields though. Forget women. A lot of people wouldn't step in that squared circle with anybody. It take a lot of cojones and huevos, you know, to hop in that ring, man, male or female. So shout out to her. Shout out to Katie Taylor too. You know, she has a history of being in the gym with a lot of men. You know what I'm saying, coming up like that. So shout out to Katie Taylor, Caroline Dubois as well. Shout out to Caroline Dubois and Daniel Dubois, man. Siblings running things, man. Both champions. Shout out to Gabriela Fundora, Sebastian Fundora. Siblings running things, both champions. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to both sets of siblings, man. Bivol and Zurdo working at Wendy's. That Bivol had Zurdo working at Wendy's. That's true. That's true. We did see Zurdo get his with the same 1-2-1 combo all night with no response. Yeah, Bivol did him nasty. Zurdo has the skills, but he has never been hit with a one-shot power like Jai. And Jai's a true finisher. I don't know, Tech. I don't know about that one. Now, I'm going to ask you, do you think that Jai has more one-punch power than CBS? I don't know. But to me, from the looks of it, it looks like it's pretty much even, man. I'm with you, though. I would lean towards, if I had to pick one, I would say Opetaia is a little, if I had to pick one, I would say Opetaia is stronger as far as one-punch power. But I'm not sure if it's that significant of a difference, man. I don't know. I know that, I don't know. Let me see whose knockout ratio is higher. I would think that Opetaia's KO ratio is higher than CBS's, but let me see. I'm not certain, but I would think so. Yeah, it's significantly higher. It's 12% higher. CBS has a 65% KO ratio. Jai has a 77% KO ratio, so he's a 12% higher. But then, of course, you got to break down opponents and stuff like that, too. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I think Chris Billiam-Smith, to be honest, I think he's probably the most, as far as body type goes, I think out of those three, Opetaia, Chris Billiam-Smith, and Zurdo, I think he's the most fit fitting for the cruiserweight division. I think he's probably the most comfortable cruiserweight there. Like, I think he's probably the most bona fide, legitimate cruiserweight as far as a build goes. You know, he's bigger than Jai, and he's bigger than Zurdo. So yeah, I think that he's. I'm not sure about that power being in Jai's favor. It could be, but I'm not sure. Them hooks was hooking CBS's power, but not heavyweight power. You think Jai has heavyweight power? I don't know, Jai. I don't think Jai has heavyweight power. That 77% is Jai cutting weight to make cruiser. He's a big dude. He is a natural heavy. You think he's a natural heavy? Ooh, I don't know, man. I disagree. I know a lot of people say that, and a lot of people think that, right? That he could go up to heavyweight. I think he gets slaughtered at heavyweight. Shout out to him. I mean, he fought Jack Massey. When I say slaughtered, I don't mean that he can't beat anybody, but I don't think he could hold a candlestick to Daniel Dubois, Martin Bacoli, Zele Zhang, Ajit Caballel, maybe Joseph Parker. They have a common opponent, right, in Jack Massey. They both beat Jack One Smack Massey, but I think Joseph Parker beats him. Yeah, I don't see him having success at heavyweight. But I could be wrong, though. You know, I could be very wrong. You know, but he's 6'2". You know, heavyweights are bigger now, and it's not all about vertical size, or vertical height. You know, or height. But yeah, I don't think he can last with those guys. But I could be wrong. You know, can he beat like a smaller heavyweight like a Justice Hooney? Could he beat like a smaller heavyweight like a Ricardo Torres, Richard Torres Jr.? Maybe, but I don't think he fucks with those larger heavyweights. But I could be wrong. If it's going back to what it used to be, not super. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, but even then, I mean, you got to remember, even Usyk is 6'3", you know, which is taller, you know. But I think he's more solid and a bulkier build than Jai. Even Jared Big Baby Anderson, he's what? He's like 6'4", and he's considered like a smaller heavyweight, right? So even the smaller heavyweights are bigger than the quote unquote smaller heavyweights are bigger than Jai. You know, so I mean, like I said, you could be right. I don't know. I don't think so. I think people see him as, this is my opinion now, I think people see him as the next dominant guy at cruiserweight, so they assume that he could do what Usyk did at heavyweight because he's the one to assume the mantle or carry the torch from Usyk. There's a reason why we ain't see nobody do what Usyk did since Evander. I don't think Opetaia is capable of going to heavyweight, in my opinion. I don't think so. But like I said, you could be right because he's a beast now. I'm not saying that to slight him. That's not a slight. It's just I don't think he could. I seen Sonic Rings fly and it was only 7 a.m. Eastern time. wait. What you talking about? Oh, them hooks. Yeah, people are falling in love with Opetaia power like they did with Wilder. Zurdo will expose him. Yeah, I think Zurdo wins, but I think it's a good fight. But I mean, I could be wrong. Natural heavyweight, yeah, I don't think so either. Twofold, but like I said, Tech could be right. You know, Tech knows his boxing. I gotta give my boy his respects. I just humbly disagree. Heavy is going back to what I read that Berlanga should move up since he also won a spectacular fight. That's crazy. This man said Berlanga versus Jai. Hey, Berlanga called out AJ, ain't it? Why not? He called out AJ. You know, right before he lost to old Cinnamon. Right before Cinnamon put that bam boom bang on him. Right before Cinnamon put that spanking on him, you know, he said he could go fight AJ. So yeah, why not have Berlanga go fight Jai? Or he's saying he walk around heavy. I think the difference is his chin and his mobility. Jai has, but he's still on fraud watch for me. But ironically, so is Zurdo. Yeah, you did. Ty did say that. I think Jai did a lot. Like I said, I give him a lot of credit for the way he beat David Nyika. Like I thought, even though he was a little green, I still think David Nyika is a formidable fighter, man. I give him a lot of credit for that. I don't give him all the credit, right, because he's still green and less experienced, but I give him that. Pistons 5 in a row. They got 5 wins in a row. I'm watching Clippers in Denver right now. Shout out to Pistons though. Pistons doing their thing right now. Scrub ass Pistons. Usyk putting Jai in the blade. Yeah, I think Usyk smacks Jai. I don't even know why Eddie's even calling for that. Like, I mean, I know why because that's his guy, but I don't think keep Jai away from Usyk, man. Like, don't even flirt with that. Like, okay, so in my opinion, and I don't think this is the case, but if I'm Eddie Hearn, if I'm Jai's promoter, the only reason why I'm flirting with the Usyk match is if I don't have confidence that he could beat Zurdo, or I don't have confidence I can make the Zurdo fight happen. Why would you even? I don't even get. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to get the conversation going, and all publicity is good publicity. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, but bro, hey, I'm taking all bets. Usyk versus Opetaia, I'm taking every single last bet. As much as my bank account can afford, I'm taking every bet. Hey, down to my socks. You feel me? Usyk will destroy Opetaia, bro. Usyk will make Opetaia look easy, bro. I think so. Like I said, I could be wrong. And there's no disrespect to Opetaia. It's just I'm not about to disrespect Usyk. Y'all think Usyk? Does anybody think that? I'm asking this seriously. Do we think Opetaia could stand with Anthony Joshua? Do we think Opetaia could stand with Tyson Fury? If the answer is no, then I have no reason to think that he could stand with Usyk. Jai has limited outside games. Zurdo will be in the pocket, guaranteed. I think he'll be in the pocket. Now, I think that's a 50-50 fight, though. I mean, I can see Jai winning. I think Jai should be the favorite against Zurdo. But I'm just going with Zurdo. I think that Zurdo could pull it off. But I'm not saying that to knock Jai. I think Jai is a great fighter. I'll say that again. I think that they're the top two. It's like Tank and Shakur, right? I think Tank beats Shakur, but I'm not mad at anybody that thinks Shakur beats Tank. Because if anybody beats Tank, I think it's Shakur. And if anybody beats Shakur, I think it's Tank. So please don't think I'm sliding Jai by saying Zurdo beats him. I just think that Zurdo could handle that. CBS just didn't have an adequate gas tank to fuck with Zurdo past 5. I agree. And I think we sleep on Zurdo's power too. I'm not saying that he has power like one punch knockout power, obviously not, but the accumulation of punches and the rate in which he delivers those punches, the combinations. We gotta remember that Zurdo came from 168, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I think he grew into cruiserweight very well. He's not like stretching himself out, and I think he kept that. If I could compare it to basketball, right? It's like AD, right? AD having a late growth spurt. Remember, he was like a point guard or something in high school, and then he had a growth spurt. And so for a big man, he's not as agile or mobile or has a beast with the handles like a Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving, but he still retains some of those skills. And so for a big man, he can handle the ball very well. And he has good athleticism and mobility and agility for a big man. I think that's what Zurdo is exhibiting as well. He's not as mobile or as quick as like your typical 168 guy because he's bigger or super middleweight, but he definitely retains some of those things. So I think he has an advantage in certain areas when it comes to agility, speed in some aspects. I think Opetaia is more athletic, but I think Zurdo moves better in situations, you know what I'm saying? So I think he retains some of that from the lower weights, and I think it came with them at cruiserweight. So I don't know. I could see both taking it, man. I think it's a good fight. AJ and Fury would be long gone by the time Jai steps up. AJ and Fury are done. No, but that's still no. Even if they're gone, my point is, do you think that they could stand? I'm not saying that he has to fight them. I'm saying, do you think if he had to fight them, do you think that he could fight them? Do you think he could hang with them? And if the answer is no, then why would I think he could beat Usyk? Because Usyk beat both those guys twice. two, you know what I'm saying? Twice, you know what I'm saying? 2 times apiece. So I'm not saying that he has to fight them to prove anything. No, but I'm saying we're talking hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, if he was to fight AJ, how would you see that going? I see AJ knocking him out in Ngannou type numbers. Like of course, Jai is more functionally sound and has better boxing acumen than Ngannou, but I see him going to sleep just like that in devastating fashion. I think Dubois does Opetaia worse than he did AJ. I think Tyson Fury may even stop Jai. So I'm not saying that they will fight, but I'm saying that I can't even imagine Jai. I could be wrong. Just because I can't imagine it don't mean that it won't happen in Jai's favor. I'm just saying, me personally, I can't imagine any scenario where Jai and AJ share a ring or Jai and Tyson share a ring and Jai makes it even competitive. I can't imagine that. But just because I can't see it don't mean it can't be. This AJ, he might get caught. He is gun shy. I don't know, man. This AJ was on a 4-fight streak now, Tech. You know, we got to remember too, Triple D was not the favorite. It's like a lot of, I'm not saying you, because I know you had Dubois, like I had Dubois, like Oscar had Dubois, the majority of the chat had Dubois, right? We picked that upset, but that was an upset for a reason. A lot of people had AJ beating Dubois because of what he did to Francis Ngannou, because of what he did to Jermaine Franklin, because of what he did to Otto Wallet, because of what he did to Robert Helenius, you know what I'm saying, before he fought Daniel Dubois. So he might be gun shy. I don't think he'll be gun shy for gosh dang Jai. I don't think he'll have a reason to be gun shy, to be honest. But like I said, I could be severely mistaken. But yeah, nah. If you catch AJ, he folds lately. I don't know, man. I don't know. A war with a smaller, lesser thought of talent. Ty, did you ever see Zurdo versus Gonzalez? That was a freak of war. Jai will KO Zurdo because he leans his head just like the dude last night. Yeah, yep. Maybe. Jai is a short and mid-range KO artist. Zurdo will be in the wheelhouse all night. Smaller height, yes, can't blame him for God-given advantage. But Ruiz beat AJ when he was even better. I don't know, man. I don't know. And you know me, I'm not the biggest AJ fan. And you're right, Ruiz did beat him. But that was a big-ass shocker. And AJ got it back, you know. That's a good question, though, Tech. Do you think AJ beats... how do you think a Ruiz and Opetaia fight goes? That's a good... Hey, I like that, Tech. That'll be a good... Hey, that'll tell me a lot. Now... I'm going to be honest. I'm going to sound crazy. Shout out to my Aussie brother and sister. I'm not talking about the Ruiz that just fought Jarrell Baby Miller. But the Ruiz that fought AJ, oh, I think he beats the hell out of Jai. I could be tripping, chat. But I think the Ruiz that fought AJ, I think he'll beat... I'm exaggerating. Let me not say beats the hell out of Jai. But I think he beats Jai. And maybe I'm giving too much. Maybe I'm exaggerating the significance of the size or the impact of the size. But I think, I agree. Yeah, Costa, I think so too. Maybe not the Ruiz that fought Jarrell Baby Miller because he was tired. He looked out of shape and stuff like that. Even out of shape for him. But I think Andy Ruiz beats Jai Opetaia too. Keep it G. AJ, my guy, but he struggled with shorter guys with fast hands on the inside the mid range. Yeah, he might. Not Jai though. I'm sorry. I don't see it, bro. You might be right, Ty, but like I said, I could be wrong. I could be emphatically wrong, bro. I could be way off. I just don't see. I don't see Jai Opetaia having success at heavyweight unless you talk about a small heavyweight like Richard Torres Jr. or hell, maybe Justice Hooney or who's another smaller heavyweight. I just don't see it, bro. And just because I can't see it don't mean it can't happen. The Ruiz that fought anybody. Y'all forgetting that Ruiz is 300 pounds. Yeah, and can move well. Yeah. I think Ruiz beats Jai, bro. Ruiz by decision with a knockdown on Jai. If we talk about hungry Ruiz. Oh, if he fight a hungry Ruiz, boy, Ruiz beat anybody hungry. You seen that belly? A hungry Jarrell Baby Miller, a hungry Ruiz beat anybody. Get them a meal. Which AJ shows up basically. I'm taking AJ, any AJ. I'm taking any AJ, bro. I don't know, Tech. Yeah, like I said, I could be wrong, man. I'm not mad at that. I just don't see. I don't see him having any success. I can't see it, bro. And I'm not even. I don't even think it depends on which AJ shows up. I think AJ. Nah, bro. Nah. Cause even Jack one smack Massey, yeah, Jai handled him well, but even Jack Massey was a smaller heavyweight too. You know what I'm saying? Go look at how much he weighed. I think he weighed like 215 against Joseph Parker. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really trying to think, like. But I will say this too. I don't know how much Jai could get up to comfortably. If Jai could get up to like 225 comfortably, 230, maybe I'm tripping. Hey, I just don't see it. I think Dubois beats Ruiz against split decision against Prime Ruiz. Oh, I think Dubois knocks out Ruiz. Shout out to Andy Ruiz, though. I like Andy Ruiz. But I think Dubois gets him out of there. This Dubois right now? Yeah. Ruiz at BAJ is a problem for anyone now than in the future. I agree. But I mean, but that's the measuring stick we got to use, right? Because when you brought up Ruiz, we were talking about Ruiz that beat AJ, right? So yeah. So that's the one that I'm gonna compare him to, right? Yeah, I think Ruiz. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like. But let's go with what you're saying, Tech. He said 217, 220 last night. Yeah. But if he could get to 225, 230 comfortably, and you know what I'm saying, it still has to be where he's still effective as he was. That's the thing about the cruiserweight, the ascension to heavyweight is not can you just make the weight, but can you also be as effective as you were? Meaning, is your power going to translate? That's the big if. I just don't think so. Is he going to, not only is his power, is his punch resistance going to translate? Because we saw David. Do you think anybody that we just named, any of the aforementioned heavyweights that we named, do you think any of them hit? Do you think David Nyika hits harder or as hard as any of them? I would say no. Maybe Joseph Parker. I don't think David Nyika hits as hard as AJ, Daniel Dubois. Now, there's an if, right? That the hypothetical is that maybe they can't deliver their punch and land that shot. But boy, if they do, Anthony Joshua gonna knock his gosh dang head off his shoulders. He gonna decapitate him, bro. Daniel Dubois gonna, if they fight in England, he gonna knock him back to down under. That's all, yeah, I don't see it, bro. But like I said, hey, I could be mistaken, man. I could be mistaken. That's why I love talking boxing with you at DBD Fair. I like to actually, yeah, man, shout out to you. Exactly. Likewise, Tech. Likewise. Like, I don't think that's wrong because I can't say you're wrong because Opetaia, look what he just did to David Nyika. Look what he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has no blemish on his record. He's been looking good. I thought that he could have looked better against Maris Bradis, who they have a common opponent in Alexander Usyk, right? Sorry. Maris Bradis is the common opponent between Usyk and Opetaia is what I meant to say. And that was a good fight. You know, he's a very good fighter. Maris Bradis. Shout out to him for retiring with all his faculties and retiring from boxing, not letting boxing retire him. You know, big salute to Maris Bradis. But even him, I don't think that he can hang with the heavyweights. But like I said, I could be significantly underestimating Jai, and I could be significantly overestimating the size differential. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you could easily be right because Jai's a beast. They have no reason to pick against Jai. He hasn't shown me a reason to pick against him. Like I said, even the fight with him and Zurdo, I'm leaning towards Zurdo, but I think Jai is and should be the favorite in that matchup. I just think Zurdo could pull it off. But I love talking boxing with you too, brother, so I appreciate that, man. I take that as a compliment, man. So likewise. If Jai can do 220, 230, I think we see the Samoan Kamada for, hey, I respect so many people's opinions of this, fan. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. Likewise. Y'all make me think and rethink, and it makes me better at being a fan. Yeah, likewise, bro. Likewise, man. Y'all challenge me, and hopefully I could, y'all challenge me with these these thought-provoking situations and propositions. So hopefully I could do the same. Because yeah, I never thought about Jai versus, because I'm just so dismissive of it, to be honest. Like when people say, oh yeah, Jai could go to heavyweight like Usyk, I'm like, man, stop it, bro. Like I think you're underestimating the difficulty in that and the specialness in Usyk, you know, and Evander Holyfield before him. Not saying that Jai isn't of that caliber of fighter, but to just say, oh yeah, he could do it because the last best cruiserweight that Usyk did it. Like, come on, bro. That's I don't know, man. I don't know. And I will say this too. Shout out to Opetaia, but to me, the jury's still out on. We know he likes to bang, right? But can he do? What happens when banging isn't good enough? And not saying that he only bangs, but like he's very willing and ready to go in a firefight. You know what I'm saying? Like he did with David, and he was just better than David, and You know, he got to David first, and he was throwing more combinations. But what happens if let's say somebody like a Ruiz hits him with a good shot, and he wants to fight back, and that's not the best option? Then he gets bing, 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 bing. No Diddy. What did I say, bro? No Diddy, bro. What did I say? I don't even know what I said, bro. I'm going to take your word for it, though. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Hey, yo. I don't know, man. But, yeah, I mean, this is why we watch boxing, bro. Because, hey, who would have thought Bakram did to Tim Tszyu like that? I didn't. 3 rounds? Who would have thought Bud would do Spence like that? Some people did. I didn't. I knew that Bud could win. I didn't think it would win like that. So, yeah. Jonathan Lambarena in the building, man. What you think about Jared Anderson, champ? What's good, bro? The hype train took a screeching halt. Now he's fighting another gimme fight. I mean, I think he needs to fight. I mean, he just came off a devastating loss to Martin Bakole, right? He was I think he was a slight favorite. We picked Bakole because we watch boxing, you know what I'm saying? We picked that one right. Not saying we get every upset right, but we definitely picked that correctly against Big Baby. What do I think about Big Baby? I think he can bounce back, and I think he needs a tune-up. I think if anybody needs a tune-up, it's him. Coming off of a loss, your first loss. But I'm going to be honest, what do I think about him as far as I don't have any confidence in Jared Anderson. I think he's a good fighter. I think even if you watch that Bakole fight, which I did multiple times, you could pick out some good instances and some good stuff that Jared Anderson was doing, man. He was outboxing him. He was landing some good shots at will. He was very evasive. That's what he is a talent, right? We never question his talent or his skills. We question his dedication. And because I have to question your dedication because of what you told me, you know, he's been very open about that. He's been very transparent about that. He says he's not dedicated to the sport like that. He said he's good at it and he does it. He said he's a young dude and he has other things going on in his life too. He's just happy to be good at boxing. I'm not mad at that. Everybody that does a job doesn't do it because they want to be the best. Everybody in the NBA doesn't want to be Michael Jordan and LeBron, and that's okay. But if I know and you tell me you don't want to be the best, and I hear Martin Bakole talk, and I know he wants to be the best and believes he's the best, talent, when you're at the upper echelon of your sport or whatever it is, whether it's sports, academics, musician, whatever you are, actor or actors, what's going to separate you, everybody's talented at the tip top. What's going to separate you is that extra mile that you run, that extra oomph of effort that you put in. That's what's going to separate you. So if you're outward about not being dedicated, then as a fan, I'm going to listen. I'm going to believe you. So from that standpoint, I think his skills will take him as far as his skills will go. But when it comes to the tip top of the sport, I don't think that he could fight guys like Dubois, Bakole, and stuff like that. My audio's messing up? What's wrong with the audio? Bang, bang, bing, bong. What do you think about it, though, Jonathan? That's a good question. But, yeah, my issue is not a talent thing. It's or lack of talent or lack of ability. It's a lack of dedication. If he dedicates himself, man, that guy could be a problem. Jared had or has so much potential, but he doesn't have the heart. Exactly. I will say this, though, Tech. I would say he has heart, though. I would say he demonstrated heart by continuously getting up against Bakole. Remember, he didn't lay down. Remember, the ref stopped it, and even when the ref stopped it, he screamed F-bomb, right? He said, fuck, you know what I'm saying, real loudly, you know? And I just think that he demonstrated that he wanted to keep going, and he had no quit in him. But I think from a heart standpoint, as far as his effort goes and how much he's going to put into the work and run the extra mile and be to the gym early or be to the gym a long time, yeah, I think that you're right in that regard. My audio's fine? Okay, appreciate that, Ty. Checking in. Yo, from Mexico. Hey, shout out to my boy Jorge in the building, man. Big salute, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you coming through, man. Shout out to Mexico. Shout out to all the nations out there. Jared, I read that already. And maybe you two refresh. Okay, appreciate that, Ty. Audio's fine. Thank you, bro. It's kind of like with the NBA, them stretch fours be getting off on the 90s prototypical board getters. But that Mobley, hey, that mobile 5 be sunning them. That mobile 5, facts. Yeah. We said Bakole by murder. We definitely did. We called that one to the T. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to us, you know. Not to pat I'm gonna pat myself on the back, and all of us I think we should all pat ourselves on the back right now. We get a lot of upsets right over here because we really watch boxing. But there's no same with the Opetaia situation. There's no fights don't go on up here. They go on in the squared circle. They transpire in the ring. So no matter what we think, it may not go down how we think, you know, but we do analyze styles, and we make our assessment based off of real life capabilities and things that the fighters demonstrate in performances, right? We don't just go off of our feelings, right? We go off of what we see and what we have saw. But the fights still don't happen in our mind. So sometimes we do get them wrong. Like I tell people all the time, I don't get all my predictions wrong, right? Nobody does, you know. I just don't have an ego because I get a lot more right than I get wrong. You know, we called the Liam Paro versus Subra Matias. I called the Bacoli versus Jared Anderson. We called the Dubois beating AJ, despite what the bastards are saying. But I did get, I thought Isaac Pitbull Cruz would beat Rayo. I got that one wrong. I have no problem saying that. I thought Tim Tszyu and Bachram was going to be a close fight, and I was wrong. But I also thought I was wrong twofold, because I thought it was going to be a close fight, and I thought Tim Tszyu was going to win. I thought Tim Tszyu was going to win a unanimous decision all 12 rounds. I thought he was going to do enough to win unanimously, but I thought it was going to be a close fight. Not only was it not a close fight, Tim Tszyu didn't come close to winning. He didn't sniff a dub. He did not even smell a victory. He got destroyed in 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely get stuff wrong, too, but we get a lot more right because we do a lot of research, and we pay attention, and we watch, and we break it down. But shout out to you, Ty. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you letting me know the audio straight. Now, I haven't put the volume in full capacity to hear decent sound. I could even hear the white. Okay, the white noise. That's me. That's me. I gotta fix that. Yeah, that white noise is me. Let me hear. But I don't know about the volume though. You should be able to hear me fine. But shout out to you, Ty. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, that white noise is definitely me. That's my computer. Okay, the white noise. That's me. I need to get me a new computer, bro. My computer be sounding like a jet engine. Be sounding like a Boeing 757. That's a fact. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna try to get that better. Hard is different than Will. He has will. That's okay. That's a good point too. He has will. He's willing to get himself up. The heart makes you get up and actually fight back. Jared got up and never fought back. You didn't think? I thought he fought back. I don't know, Tech. I don't know, bro. I thought he fought back, man. I thought he fought back to as much as he could. He didn't shell up. Do you think he shelled up? Like I said, I just watched this fight. I don't know when's the last time you watched it. Maybe you watched it recently too. But I just watched it like 2 nights ago, man. He was definitely fighting back. It's just, what Bacoli say? A big man with big engine. You know, he had a big engine, man. You can only do so much with that pressure. High key, this has consistently been only your complaint. Shout out to you, Ty. I appreciate it, bro. Jonathan says, I think Jared relies a bit too much on his slickness. That Charles Martin fight showed a lot. Constantly leaning back and stepping straight back as a form of defense. Yeah. He has some holes in his games for sure. You called that Paul versus Matias, and I was like, huh? And then when I said Parker B. Zang, you said, huh? Right. I am wrong way more than I am right. Nah. Hell nah, bro. Nah, you right a lot over here, bro. I don't see you wrong too often. I think you right way more than you wrong. He tried to make it look good, but he showed up and didn't show out. I'm with that. He can still be a contender realistically. Yeah, the American boxing community have a tendency of calling a lot of youngsters like him the future of heavyweight, but he could definitely bounce back. No, he's not the future of heavyweight division. I agree with that to a certain extent, but we got to understand too, Jonathan. To be honest, Tyson Fury is the first person I heard call him the future of the heavyweight, and he's English. I heard Tyson Fury call 2 people the future of the heavyweight division prematurely. Tyson Fury called Jared Baby Anderson and Moses Atama, the 19-year-old out of England. The verdict's still out on Moses Atama, but you know, people are saying after he knocked out Denson McKean that he's the next Mike Tyson. I've heard the English Mike Tyson. So yeah, there's a lot of people that bestow these titles prematurely. And I've always said that when Tyson Fury said that, I think that Jared Anderson has a skill, but I don't know if he has, you know what I'm saying, it's not just skill. Like Tech was saying, heart and will is a big part of it. Because when you get in that sticky situation, you got to get yourself up out of there, and sometimes skill alone won't cut it. But Moses Atama, the verdict's still out on him. I think he's very good, but I still think it's too early to call anybody the future of the heavyweight division until they have that competition. But you know, these guys are in the gym with them, so they see something. You know, obviously Tyson Fury was wrong about Jared Anderson. Well, I can't even say he was really wrong, because Martin Bacoli, a lot of people think Martin Bacoli is one of the best in the heavyweight division. So is losing to Bacoli really that bad? I mean, yes, but Martin Bacoli was relatively unknown, you know what I'm saying? The beast out of the Congo, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, apparently he's not too unknown amongst the boxing community. I mean, the boxing participants, like the fighters, right? Because the beast out of the East, as in the East China, you know what I'm saying? Big Bang Zhang didn't want to fight Bakoli when he got ordered, right? Ajit Kabayel, the beast out of Germany, he didn't want to fight Bakoli when he got ordered. You know what I'm saying? So these are well documented. So is Jared Anderson really? Maybe we're exaggerating the significance of a loss to Bakoli. Maybe Jared Anderson beats a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't think so. But like I will say this: when I watched that fight, man, he was demonstrating some skill. Now that's a fact. He said he tried to make it look good. Power over Matias is crazier than Parker over Zhang. Am I right, chat? Doc said power. I was like, are you trolling me right now? That's true. You did. I appreciate you giving me that credit too. Big salute. Yeah, thank you, bro. Parker coming off a Wilder win. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I mean, you still got to get your credit though. You still got to give your credit, man, because Zhang's formidable too. And you called that one, man. He dropped him twice. He won a majority decision. I'm not mad at Joseph Parker winning that. So, you know, you called that, bro. I got to give you your credit, bro. Got to give you your credit too, man. But Coley stepped out front foot and so he pulled up on Jared Anderson and said,
Nigga, you's a bitch.
He took his shots and looked at him, bro. That's crazy, bro. Don't do him like that, man. He made Big Baby look like a big baby. You know what I'm saying? But chat, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Martin, the head honcho from the Congo, but Coley, talk to him to find irony in the building, man. What's good, brother? Shout out to irony, man. But chat, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I'm gonna get me some food. I'm a little hungry. Give me a late night snack. What's tomorrow? Chat, I don't know. Oh, where's Karma at? I don't think Karma's here. It's so funny that Karma asked me about Jordan, right? I think I have Jordan tomorrow. That's crazy that you asked me about her. I'm not sure if I'll be live though. But I think I'll have her tomorrow because my cousin's supposed to be coming through, so. Yeah, I forgot to say that earlier when I saw you because you asked me about her today. It was just funny that, you know, they hit me up and said that they're coming through tomorrow. Excuse me. I'm about to eat too. What you about to eat, bro? I need some ideas, man. I'm hungry. It's 11 though. Probably just get me some. I got some cereal. Got some Raisin Bran. Great to see you, bro. Hey, man. God bless you too, man. Yes, sir. Great to see all y'all, man. I was leaning Parker, but now I'm thinking Dubois. Bro, Tech, I'm still confused on that fight, man. That's a good fight, Parker and Dubois. I think people are underestimating Parker, man. A fish fry, well, that sounds good. I had fish earlier. Fish and rice. God bless. Red, thank you so much again. Red dropping that big money on the chat, man. I want to give another run through, man. Shout out to everybody showing the love in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy, Ty. You know what I'm saying? Showing big love in the super chat. Fight Lab Analytics showing love in the super chat. Oscar showing love in the super chat. Shout out to Red dropping that big hundun on the Cash App. Crazy. That's biggest donation in the stream. Shout out to Tech Dumb Dad showing some love in the super chat as well. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love for real, man. Y'all really make the kid feel good. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? So, man, that's too funny, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking as always. I should be on in the morning, but I don't know when they're coming, so I don't want to commit to that. If they're here early, I probably won't be on early, but I'm definitely going to be on for at least one show tomorrow, good Lord willing. So y'all be easy, take care of yourselves. I really appreciate the love for real. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Catch you on the flip side. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Yo, I just see that at the end, man. Shout out to my boy Tech Dumb Dad. Says smash the like. Yes, sir, please do. Drop the like, man, as my boy dropped that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all make a young brother feel loved, man. Thank y'all so much for the fellowship, the brotherhood, and you know what I'm saying. Shout out to the sisters in the chat too. You know what I'm saying. I appreciate that. I'm out. God bless. Prayers up for those going through that fire in California again too. God bless.